I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Traffic sucked. Sorry. So I had to delay it 20 minutes. Y'all, this interview. I just cannot. I cannot. Have y'all watched it? Has any? Well, there's only one person here right now. Let me give it a minute. How are y'all doing? Hey, Betty Dave. Is it Betty Davis, my dears? I love that song, Betty Davis Eyes. Not by JoJo C. I don't think that version's horrible, but I prefer the other. So, have y'all watched the podcast? Anybody? Hey, Royal. Hey, John. Let me show the comments. So, hey, Christine. I mean, you all have probably already seen it. Hey, Care Bear. I watched. I skipped through it. I skimmed through it because I noticed in the beginning he showed her crying, and I'm like, well, what would she be crying about? And of course, it's not about what she did. Yeah. Hey, Sonia, how are you? How do y'all feel about him releasing this on the anniversary of the crime? Which, by the way, her arrest, when they were arrested and charged, it said it happened on June 9th, which would have been the same day as Dee Dee's mom's death. But last year, Wikipedia, and it was updated in 2024 or 2025. I think it's 2025, that it was June 10th. Whatever. But I think that I, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think that is bold for him to release it on the date of her anniversary, the death anniversary. Hey, Emil. It is all lies, Care Bears. Thank you, Christine. I seen, a lot of people have already went live, so I probably won't, but have many people in here because everybody's already seen it. I just want to give you my opinions, and then we can talk about Autumn too. I guess she's upset everybody, and nobody trusts her now, so we can just. But I did tag We Need to Talk in my description. I credited them for this and tagged them. And Paul, I would love to know why you didn't research this case, why you went off of mainstream media, books, online references, no FOIAs, no evidence, and the lies that have been blatantly proven since her release. I would love to know why he wouldn't have he has a research team. Hey, Arista. Hi, Kimmy. It is hard to watch it. You always switch into TV, Christine. It is hard to watch. Honestly, that's why I stopped after 5 minutes, because within 5 minutes, she's already told a lie. It's hard. Did you? I seen the interview he did with parts of it. I didn't watch all of it, but it was the girl from Love Island, Belle and Lucinda. I love Lucinda. I'm a Lucinda fan. Belle was. I would have to say Belle's a narcissist in a way. It was. I left some comments. I guess I haven't looked to see if they're still there. I don't care. His comment section was flooded. I mean, I think he got the idea, hopefully. I would still love to know why they released it today on the death anniversary. I would, of all days, Gypsy Rose, you are an absolute diabolical, narcissistic, sociopath, psychopath, allegedly. But that same doctor that Paul's praising on here that said this was the worst case of Munchausen ever said you didn't fit the criteria too. But Gypsy leaves that part out. Yeah, nobody. Mm-hmm. Just to give you an idea, just to start it off, this part right here, and this came from the snark, but This part right here just ticked me off. Oh, let me add it to the screen. It just ticked me off. I couldn't help it.
Take some of that spotlight and give it to all the victims. Because I'm not the face of Munchausen by proxy. I never wanted to be, never claimed to be. This is my life.
What?
Y'all made me this. I didn't.
We made her this show, guys.
Yeah.
And he's agreeing.
Take some of that spotlight and give.
What? We made her this way. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that phone call from the Foyas, Gypsy, that you and Christy were talking about? Oh, my lawyer came up with 2 ideas. One if I'm involved and one if I'm not, which she was. And was lying and says it on that phone call. She was lying about being involved until he came up with the Munchausen by proxy theory. It's on the phone call in the Foyas. So you didn't go over that, Gypsy? You didn't get on. Well, you didn't, but you had like Ryan, Ken, Fancy, Christy, your friend that I can't, I'm so angry I can't think of her name. Rachel Garlick. Build your platforms while you were in prison. You had 4 million followers before you were even released and had petitions going around to free you because you said you didn't feel you deserved this amount. You didn't deserve any time. And you were trying to be completely released. Oh my God. And wanted to advocate for MVP. Advocate. You said that just because you thought more people would sign that petition and you would actually get released, and it didn't work. I'm sorry. I didn't think it started showing that until after it uploaded, like after I was done. I don't know. I did switch to the paid. Hey, Mandy, how are you? She has Tony. I'm stuttering. It makes me so angry that she can't just be. Anyways, we'll start with some of the first lies, but we're not going to do every single. We'll skip because it does have timelines like where she met Nick, her early life. The lie she told about Dee Dee. Mm-hmm. Let me go to that screen really fast. Here it is. And we're going to see as on this, it's like I literally turned it on and went back to right here and it made me do ads again. It's going to do a bunch of ads on here.
One of the most recognizable, I think, figures in the United States, Gypsy Rose, is one of, I think, the most recognizable names. Mm-hmm. However, I believe that there is a lack of understanding about who you actually are.
Yeah.
And what actually
Well, those eyes are
happens.
Extra crossed.
And that's the reason why I'm so intrigued and so honored that you're here to give us your time.
You're honored. He's honored, guys. He's honored. A man who has 500,000 subs for his podcast, gets millions of views on this podcast he does, very popular. He's honored to have a murderer sitting across from him that he did zero research on and is lying. His name is Paul something. I just know Paul. His podcast is called We Need to Talk, and it's usually celebrities. He did like Akon, Amy Winehouse's boyfriend or husband. I did see where that was on there. Lucinda from Love Island. Just a ton of like reality TV people and singers and stuff like that. Hey, Lola. That's so true. Evidently, he doesn't know who she is, or he is just playing dumb. Because I can't. I'm putting this on 2 times speed because I'm not gonna we'll try to get through as much as we can. I'm doing 2 times speed, you guys, because this is gonna take forever. At least 1.5. Let's do. Wait. There we go. See if that.
All right.
I'm happy to get into it.
All right. Let's do it. Let's do
All
it.
right, let's do it.
Okay. So could we then begin with your parents?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Dee Dee and Rod.
Mm-hmm.
When did your parents meet, and where did they meet?
So my parents met in.
Do y'all want to watch this? I'm going to skip through the parents meeting. She doesn't really. She tells how they meet, but she lies. She makes so many lies about her mom not liking her because she looks like Rod. Gypsy, you don't look like Rod at all. Oh, that's awesome, Tony. I don't know if you. I'm going to get to the part where there is questions.
I mean, very small in Louisiana. Originally, they became friends, and then not too. That must have been.
See. We're going to get ads a lot. I can't hardly get through this, so.
Because there's not only that element of abandonment, but the trauma that my mom went through as a child herself. I think the hits just kept coming, and she loved him very, very much. So, looking back on it, that must have been heartbreaking. And I am a reflection of my dad. Like, I look just like my dad.
Look how her eyes are extra crossed.
Yes, absolutely. What was life like for you and your mother in particular in those first 5 years?
I mean, I would say that, I felt like my mom was my best friend. I felt like she was my protector. The childhood seemed fairly normal because the first 5 years of my life, my grandmother was still alive. Mm-hmm. And I honestly feel like when my grandmother passed away, my mom lost a part of herself that at least was keeping her together.
She's shaking. Her voice is shaking. She's lying. I do believe Dee Dee went into a depression. I do believe that. She pretty much says right here that Dee Dee keeps her, when her mom passes away, she moves. And she moves because of her knowing her father had been cheating on her mother before she passed. She did not get along with his new wife. He got remarried very quick. She was worse than Christy, I would think. JoJo, I haven't seen you in so long. Thank you. I don't know. I think she went to this podcast and then went to TMZ. I don't know, but she's wearing the same clothes. I have clothes on, y'all. It's a cute little shirt, but it's 90 degrees here. It's hot. They should arrest her. They absolutely should sue her. So, yeah, I don't know why they don't. I think, but here's where the first lies start, and we'll go over a little bit of it, but I'm not going to play everything.
Because at the age of 5, I was still able to be around my cousins. I have a very large family.
You always were.
I have 2 aunts, uncles, and then when my grandmother passed away, my grandfather got remarried. My mother did not approve of the new relationship, and everybody took sides.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then from there, my mom and I started moving around.
Interesting. And
you notice she didn't put in there, hey, we got relocated from Hurricane Katrina. My mom just took a side and started moving around. Oh my God. Dee Dee was treated horribly by the new wife. Look at how she spoke about her the day she found out she passed away. Even her own dad allowed it. I don't blame Dee Dee for moving away from it, but we do know. Y'all are going to hear my grandson playing his VR set, so. Agree, JoJo. Oh, okay. Well, have fun watching Morbid. I don't really watch him that much.
Was that because you can no longer live in the house?
Correct. From what I understand, my uncle addressed all the things that my mom was doing at that point. He was like, why isn't Gypsy in school? You need to put her in school.
No, he didn't. This is
such
a lie.
She's as sick as what you claim. She's perfectly fine. She
such
plays
a
with my
lie.
kids. And he just put her on blast.
No, he didn't.
So what was your mother doing or claiming at that time?
Well, at the age of 5, I was still seeing
I'm shocked that Rod is going to allow her to do. Well, no, I'm not, because he's down Dee Dee and dog Dee Dee the whole time too. So it's the baby voice, Sonia, every single time. It's something like this, and she's got to. It's, I guess, her go-to for the victim card, I guess. But look at her eye right there. Do y'all see her eyes? They are so crossed. And when she's lying, that's such a telltale sign. She can't keep her eyes straight. It's a good thing they have her looking and they have the side of her because, yeah. But Rod did not say that to Dee Dee. Rod did abandon her. That's exactly what happened. She's lying for him. He didn't call Dee Dee out. He said he believed everything Dee Dee said. She's such a liar. She does have soulless eyes. I agree.
Many doctors, the list of ailments was not as long as it was obviously later on in life. But I had supposedly a seizure disorder.
Supposedly. Now she said I supposedly had a seizure disorder. We went over this. She did. See, this is where it's going to be really hard for me because I can't shut up about all the lies.
I had leukemia, hearing impaired, vision impaired, muscle weakness. So all of these things, I was still in GI problems, gut problems. So all of this was happening even at the age of 5.
What about, do you remember, or what
She's
you
lying.
Heard, what did the other family members, especially who were living with you, what did they think?
I'm telling you guys. Hey, Fallout.
My mother's side of the family is, they don't really recognize mental health problems. Obviously in the 90s, 80s, 90s, mental health problems was shrugged off and
I can't believe she does
you're weird.
this.
You're, they put you in a box in a category that you're just crazy.
Yes.
Instead of it being addressed with therapy. And so that's the kind of box they just put my mom into. Even, her own family put her in that box of like,
no,
she's
you
just weird,
did.
she's just crazy.
After getting out, Gypsy,
and
you
so
did
I think that they had a hint that, yeah, this is not normal. But there's a lot of things that was going on in that family that was not normal.
Okay.
Here she goes.
Now, you mentioned there, and this is a term that I didn't know until doing the research for you, is so from what I understand is yes, your mom wasn't weird or crazy. She suffered from a disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So this is this FDIA, or Munchausen, FDIA, fabricated or induced illness,
mm-hmm.
or FII.
Watch your
It's
eyes.
a severe form of child abuse
mm-hmm.
or mental illness where a caregiver
mm-hmm.
fakes or causes symptoms or illness in a child to gain attention or sympathy,
mm-hmm.
right? And it's previously was known as Munchausen syndrome by proxy.
Correct.
So from what I understand, this is what your mother suffered from. And I've seen reports that have said that she has one of the most, historically, one of the most
This is insane. This is how little research you did.
Disease. And she took this out on you. Okay. So the family doesn't know what's happening. They just say that she's weird.
Correct.
But as you mentioned, there's other things happening in the house. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about what was happening in the house so we understand the full environment?
I mean, as far as, my mother goes, she was supposed to be on medication. She was supposed to be on medication because she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
Wow.
And
I'm going to stop it there. Now she has bipolar and was diagnosed with it and should have been on medication. And you heard what he just said. She's the doctor who came on and did either Gypsy's Revenge or Mommy Dead and Dearest or Dr. Phil. I don't remember which, documentary he did, but said it was the worst case of Munchausen by proxies ever done to a child. What are you talking about? I would love to know. She wasn't a child, for one. Most of everything that happened when she was, the scamming, the malingering did. But she was sick. She did have. You notice how she don't bring any of that up. Allegedly, I had supposedly. That same doctor who said she had the worst case ever also said Dee Dee didn't fit the criteria until they paid him. She leaves that out, though. He also said she fit the criteria to have antisocial personality disorder. So which is it, Gypsy? How come you leave that part out and you don't tell him this is how little research he did. He legit watched a book, read the book, and probably watched a documentary, and that's it. He did no more research than that right there. Every one of them do. And I can guarantee you there was a contract signed where it said you cannot ask me any details about the crime specific, blah, blah, blah. This is the same old crap we've heard over and over, except she's lied. She's already lied and going to lie some more. It's the same old crap. Everybody's asked her. Nobody's asking her the hard questions. Why didn't he just say, well, maybe he didn't do the research, but in my opinion, if you did that, you're going to tell me you didn't go look at any of the FOIAs, all of the videos of her sending to Nick, her planning this for 2 years, didn't even look at the arrest records. I'm just, oh my God. Ah!
Remember, like, there was a therapist that would come to the House of Counseling.
Yeah.
And then when we moved from Louisiana to Missouri, she stopped seeing the therapist and she stopped being on medication. I remember, growing up with a mom that said, do you hear that? I hear voices.
This is in a
telling me
movie.
that there's 7 voices and 6 of them doesn't like me.
That is from
I see that, like, seeing things.
Somebody tell me what movie that's from. This is a movie, and I want to say it's from that. Oh my God, that is from a movie. Just like her in the book saying she carved pain into her arm. Dee Dee supposedly did, was cutting herself. How come there's no scars on Dee Dee's arms? How come in the autopsy there is 0 scars or anything in the autopsy that showed Dee Dee had previous issues with cutting herself? Because she would have scars if she did that. She got that scene from that movie. It was, oh my gosh, it had Brittany Murphy in it, and I can't remember the girl's name. She married Brad Pitt. They got divorced, and that big custody thing happened. It's where they were in a rehab, and they all, like, got out of the rehab. Girl Interrupted, I think it was called. Yes. Thank you, Lola. She took scenes from that, talks about it in her book. There is always a movie that she will find a line or a story or something to. In that book, the exact scene happened the way she said it happened to her mom. She was helping her wash her body. And she carved pain into her arm. And she rubbed her hand over it and felt bad for her. And she watched the water drip down. It's such a lie. That's exactly how the scene went. This chick, she's a liar. Look at them cross-eyed.
Things that aren't there. And I didn't see these things. So, it would kind of break my mom's heart when I would be like, no, I don't see anything.
Oh, maybe.
So it's definitely a lot of that manipulation.
Love lunatic.
Growing up, my mom was like, your dad wants nothing to do with you. He has his family now. He's remarried. He's got new kids. They're his favorite. He doesn't love you and he doesn't love me. But I love you. I'm the one that's here day in and day out. Appreciate me.
That's not true. I've seen the messages. Unless there were phone calls between Gypsy and Dee Dee, I never saw anything from Dee Dee saying, like, your dad, and I'm sure she did at some point, because Rod did go months at a time and months without calling, didn't pay child support. I'm sure it did happen. She knows that. But Gypsy's online pretending to be Dee Dee and talking about Rod and says things about Rod. She knows Rod doesn't want anything to do with her. She's an adult at that time and still talking like a baby. Dee Dee tried every way possible. You can see it in the text, the DMs, and you can see it on Facebook. She tried everything to get Rod to come see Gypsy, do something with Gypsy. She was hoping he would have a relationship with Gypsy. Rod sat here and lied on Dee Dee too for the documentary. Shame on you, Rod. Yeah, I did a whole video about that too. It irritated me.
So it's a lot of that. And growing up, I didn't have a high self-esteem. Not because my mom didn't tell me I was pretty, but more so because I wasn't allowed to form my own identity. And feel confident in myself, discovering.
What? She wasn't allowed to form her own identity. Bitch, you had 10. What are you talking about? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll bleep that out if I can when I go back. You had 10 different personalities and identities. What are you talking about, Gypsy? Oh my God. Did you watch it, Gina? Jerry, you're not pretty. That's diabolical. Oh God.
Who I am.
I see it. And even on that point too, where you mentioned your mother, in essence, was isolating you, right, from your father. I've noticed that this is a standard maneuver of abusers, is the social isolation of the person that they're targeting.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see a mother do that to a child. So now, if you're willing to talk about it, is that when you're talking about this lots of stuff happening in the house, from what I understand, this is your grandfather was assaulting.
Pisses me
Can you
off.
talk about that so we can understand at what, 6 or 5?
I was 9.
You were 9.
I was 9.
Oh, now it's
my
9,
earliest
guys.
memory of something just not being appropriate would be, around the age of 5-ish. And when after my grandmother passed away, it was me, my mom, and my grandfather all living in the house until he moved.
Okay.
And so upstairs there's a bathroom on the 2nd floor, and it had a tub. And I remember my mom taking a bath and my grandfather washing her. And then she gets out of the tub and then proceeds to put me in the tub with him. And I have this memory. Other family members have called me a liar. They do not believe this at all because they're like, the tub was very small. How can 2 people fit in there?
Right.
I was little. I was very little. And obviously having my grandfather expose himself like that, I was so little. I didn't think anything of it because I didn't know anything about sex or anything like that. But he found enjoyment in exposing himself to me.
I'm going to stop right here. We have the FOIA evidence of her cellmates saying she is self-pleasuring herself from the time she's 4 years old. That came out of your mouth, Gypsy. Yours. You were doing that. You were self-pleasuring from the time you're 4. You absolutely would have known. But let's not forget, you stole that story, wasn't it? Was it Amelia's story? I can't remember, but it was one of the cellmates, and she said they were great friends, knew her the entire time she was in prison, went and did the documentary, had never heard this before, went out and done the interview, and she said she told her story that she told her, the inmate, whoever it was. I want to say it was Amelia. It was an inmate she was friends with. I don't know. I can't remember. I think it was Amelia, though. Anyway, she said that she went in and told her story that she told Gypsy, word for word, that happened to her when it was her story. And she asked her about it. She didn't care. She doesn't care. You know what really just grinds my gears? You have Sheena and all them on TikTok posting, I'm so proud of you, Gypsy. You're on We Need to Talk podcast and all the hand claps and blah, blah, blah. This is the same girl who lied on Nick, who lied about this, who lied about her cellie that she was sleeping with that was consensual, but because they got into an argument and that cellmate was talking to a guard who didn't like her and she was scared she was going to tell her they were sleeping together, she decides to lie and say that girl that she had been sleeping with raped her. The chick got in trouble, got written up. This is in the FOIAs too, Paul. This is in the FOIAs, Paul. She lied on an innocent person again, Paul. She got sent to solitary. She even got charges brought up against her. This was in jail. So when they transfer her to prison, she told Melissa Moore this. But you know what? That's not anywhere. Nothing in here is about that, right? No. She told Melissa, but when they went to transfer me, I told him the truth. I mean, it was a little late, but I did. Oops. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you joking? I have zero sympathy for somebody. So here, I'm going to ask you, if you are okay lying and saying somebody SA'd you, and let them legally take like charges, legally get in trouble, get sent to solitary, and you're okay with it? What did she say? My mom taught me how to lie. I can lie without a conscience, blah, 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 blah. And she told Nick her caring's broken. She doesn't feel those emotions. She doesn't care. This is the reason why most victims are flipping laughed at. This chick right here, lying about other people doing it and nobody believes them. Just like her getting locked up. She still goes with that on this. It's amazing. No, she didn't. I think she left that out in here because we can prove she lied about the movie theater incident, coming and getting locked in the playhouse. She left that out in this interview because we have actual proof she lied and made it up. She left that out this time. Hey, Kim. I don't think he will because it's getting so many. It's getting so many comments. Let me see how many comments it has.
And then when I was 9, after a bad car accident happened with me and my mom,
It's got
she
83,000
was left in the
views.
hospital, and somebody needed to take care of me. So my grandfather stepped in, and
Almost 4,000 comments.
And this is where the majority of the abuse happened.
I don't think he will.
And I was confused about it. I felt like it was wrong, but I wasn't
I
sure
did too.
exactly why I felt it was wrong.
Hey, Neva.
And it wasn't until I got a little older that I started, obviously learning more about sex and sexual acts.
Me too,
that,
Jerry.
It's sad that my first memories of that has to be like, oh yeah, that's what Grandpa did to me.
You're such a freaking
and
liar.
A lot of my family members are not speaking to me now because I have been so public about it.
No, they're not speaking to her, Paul, because she's lying. She lied then. She's lying now. She's lying after she left your studio. She'll lie tomorrow. She'll lie the next day, the next day, the next day. I cannot. Oh my God. They were all negative, Neva. All of them. I did, Jerry. Hi, I'm going to say it wrong. Rigamoris? Rigax Morris? They are all very negative, Kimmy. Hey, Brandy. I didn't listen to it on Spotify. Exactly. This is just so... Let me skip over to her early life. The family doesn't talk to you, Gypsy, because you're lying. They even asked you. It's in the phone calls, and I want to say one of the emails, they asked her why she was saying that. I'd have to go back. I went over all this like when I first started my channel. I did so many email videos, but I didn't have a couple hundred, maybe 400 subs. I don't know. So those videos didn't get like tons of views. So I might repost them so that y'all can watch them. Let's go to alleged. That was.
We can't stay here anymore, mostly because of the constant drama between her and my grandfather's wife.
Okay.
It just left the house very super uncomfortable, and so my mom just thought it would be best for us to leave. We stayed at the Ronald McDonald House in New Orleans.
Okay.
6-month stint in the hospital.
Here's the medical.
And that's when they put the feeding tube in.
Let me go back.
How you got to the hospital?
6-month stint in the hospital.
Okay.
She said 6
and that's
months.
When they put the feeding tube in.
Someone correct me if I'm
How you got
wrong.
to the hospital?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I looked at the medical and it was a month. Is there a 6-month stint that I'm not aware of that I didn't see? I have the medical records. I didn't see a 6-month stint. I seen a month. I know they stayed in the Ronald McDonald House when they were like abandoned for months, but in the hospital, it was a month. She said she doesn't know why. She don't know why she's in here. Was there a 6-month stay that I'm not aware of? Because I thought it was only a month. Somebody let me know in the comments.
My mom drove us, but I don't remember what the initial appointment was for.
Okay. But you ended up then going in for 6 months, which that's significant.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And you were given a feeding
Thank
tube,
you.
and then you were placed in a wheelchair.
Yeah, so the wheelchair happened. There's so many different stories that my mom told different people. So the initial story that my mom told to family was I went into the hospital. Then upon having surgery, I had a seizure on the operating room table that left me paralyzed. That was the first story. Okay. So, where's girl?
This is the first story. She's saying this is a story, even though it's in the medical records, and she did have a. She did have that. Now here she's gonna go with the second story.
Growing up, that's what I thought. I knew that I could walk. I just want to make that clear. I knew that I could walk. So then she goes on to tell other people, well, she was paralyzed, and doctors, mind you, tell doctors that I was paralyzed since birth.
I didn't see that, Lola.
Even though there's pictures and there's family and there's all these people that had seen me grow up walking.
Right. So then what I believe is hard to understand is how do doctors then believe her enough to give you the feeding tube, to give you the wheelchair?
They are never.
How were they fooled?
My mom had a very, her personality was sweet. To the untrained eye, I guess you could say, she had a very welcoming presence.
No, Gypsy, your mom was sweet and she cared about you and she was worried about you. You were in that hospital for your feeding aversion. You had that G-tube because you refused to eat. That's in your medical records. So explain to me, Paul, why was it that Gypsy got the G-tube because she had failure to thrive, has made this G-tube sound like she's had hundreds of surgeries, hundreds, when it's 10 minutes to put the replace the G-tube. That's not a surgery. It's a procedure, but it's not a surgery. Please explain. She weighed 36 pounds at 9 years old. 9. I never seen that with the 8-year-old thing. I went through her medical records, so I'm just so confused. Because I do know that she was in there. They had did many other, not procedures, but tried other things to get her to eat. In her medical records, Paul, it said she's scared to eat. She's scared to swallow. She won't. She refuses to. She's 36 pounds at 19 years old. What the heck? She was very, very, very behind. I mean, that's not normal for a 19-year-old, 36 pounds. How come she gained weight after getting the feeding tube? If Dee Dee was such a bad monster and had MVP, how come she went from 36 to 52 or 58 pounds months later? I would love to know, because somebody who has MVP would make sure that they got worse, not better. Everything this girl had done to her made her better, not worse. I would love to know. Whatever. I know she does, Darlene. No, they won't, Brandy. I know.
Everybody, it was like that classic Southern mom. Hi, sweetie, darling, sugar plum, all that.
Yes.
And there was one doctor in particular,
oh my God,
that she honestly, I think, in my opinion, buttered up. She would buy him gifts. He would come and visit us at the Ronald McDonald House.
Okay.
There was this sort of friendship that I don't feel is professional. You shouldn't have friendships with your patients.
Okay, I see it. And so
you see it, Paul? What's Dee Dee supposed to do if all she is doing is sitting at a hospital talking to doctors and nurses and has no other life? Here's the thing. She goes on to say Dee Dee, keeps her locked away from the world. She has no life of her own. She never gets to go outside. She doesn't have no outside contact whatsoever. Yet Dee Dee gave up her entire life, dating, friends, a life period, work, everything, to take care of this girl who was sick. They just didn't know what was wrong with her. because it didn't exist yet, Paul. You do realize her 1Q21.1 wasn't known to scientists until 2008, sorry. That's when they diagnosed her, was 2011. So all these tests they were doing, yeah, they came back negative because they didn't know what it was. It wasn't like Dee Dee was just like, nope, I think you need to do this and you need to go do this surgery. You need to put the feeding tube in. I just think she needs it. No, you need to do her eye surgery because she's so cross-eyed and has strabismus that I think you should do it. Oh my God. She did. It blows my mind. Oh, yes. Hey, Lola, let's not forget in that interview with Detective Hancock, her cellmate said all she talked about was how she wanted to have schmucks with Mike Stanfield. Just because he found a defense tactic that worked and we've only been able to ever hear her side doesn't make it true. Do I think that everything I feel is correct or everything? Hey, Sizzle, do I feel everything like my opinions are all correct? No. There's always three sides to every story. Three. We've heard one. One side always.
Because of her charisma, right? She was able to, sounds like, dupe these doctors. Was there ever a moment where a doctor said no and told her no?
Yes, there was. And this brings us to quite a pivotal moment. There was a doctor, his name was Dr. Flashenstein, or Flasherstein, however you want to say it.
Can't even say it.
And he examined me. He was a neurologist. Pretty sure he's retired now, but he asked me to stand up in his doctor's office. Now, I learned this on a documentary. On the documentary about myself.
You guys, she learned her stuff on the documentary.
And the rough part for me is, I have a therapist. And for a long time after watching the documentary,
I just want to remind you that she is the one who spoke about this exact situation in the documentaries. But she learned it from the documentaries, guys. Just saying.
I'm like, he's lying. I don't remember that. I never remember him asking me to stand. And then a few months ago, I was laying in bed and I feel like I have two memories. And I don't know which one's real, but I think I maybe do recall him asking me to stand up.
She knows
and
now.
It was blocking that memory. But now I'm kind of like, oh my God, maybe he did.
Yes.
She just blocked it, guys.
I think I did stand up. And he told my mom, point blank, there's no reason why she can't walk. She can walk. She's fine. And my mom left. We never went to see that doctor again. But that doctor had put in the medical records, in his notes from that day, suspicion of mother with Munchausen by proxy.
That is not what it said. No, Paul, let me just say this, Paul. That is a bold-faced lie. That is not what it said. No. I'm going to post it in my comment section for you to look at, Paul, if you will, or his research team, somebody. I hope to. I mean, I'm not getting many views in this live, but you never know. He might. It did not say that. What it said was he suspected. Nowhere did it say he suspected the mother either. It said he suspected Munchausen by proxy, malingering, or an underlying etiology, a genetic condition. Gypsy, why are you leaving that out? I'm going to let y'all finish it, but Paul, this is the document. That's what it says, that her whole side leaves out. Never that part spoken about, because guess what, Paul? She did have an unknown etiology. The microdeletion of 1Q21.1. It, oh my God, this is so, I feel defeated. If anything, Paul, in her medical records, it was her who was accused of malingering over and over and over. Lying. Not her mom, her. Lying about her symptoms. Her failing test on purpose. Her. Not Dee Dee, not the mom. Her. She's like from the beginning. Oh my God.
And my mom would always request a copy of the medical records after every appointment.
Okay.
We guess, me, my family, my attorney, we all think that she's seen that in the medical records and chose to leave and not
No, she
go
didn't.
to that doctor again.
Okay.
He was a
And
freaking
so when a doctor leaves a report like that, then where does it go?
Usually it would go to social services,
Okay.
family protective services.
No, it
which
doesn't.
They did come to my house. They come to my house. They separate me and my mom, her in the living room, me in my bedroom.
God.
They bring a sheriff or a deputy with them.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So it was
That's
two
not why
caseworkers and a deputy.
CPS went.
And the deputy was questioning my mom in the other room about why is there a E at the end of Blanchard? Because it's just Blanchard. There's no E at the end.
That's
but
not
she had
right.
put an E at
That's
the end
false.
and essentially was, forging all these documents.
Okay, so in Blanchard, that's your last name.
Yes.
So
She
Gypsy
wasn't
Rose
forging-
Blanchard,
Mhm.
but she's including that
Yes.
to throw people off.
To throw people off.
No. Paul, let me just correct her again. That's not what happened. CPS didn't go to her house because of that doctor's report. That's not what happened. CPS went to her house because of the different birth dates. The different birth dates and the different names. Also, I want you to understand, Paul, Dee Dee signed a paper stating that she gave every name, every birth date. It's in her medical records. Oh my God. Where Dee Dee said there are different birth dates. There are different names. She even gave permission for them to get all of her previous records before moving to Missouri. They just couldn't. They tried. As far as I know, they never got them. Maybe they did. We've just never been shown them. That is not what happened, Gypsy. You were an adult when CPS came to your house. You were 19. 19. And if she's the one who is forging all these documents, why did you sign your name, Blanchard, with an E whenever you got arrested? Why did you lie to Detective Hancock and say you were 19 years old when you were basically 24? So again, Gypsy, who was doing all the lying? Can't even get your story straight. You're so dumb. I'm sorry.
Oh, look at that.
And so they questioned her, why is the birth date different from this hospital to this hospital? How old is your daughter? When was she born?
Yes.
Where was she born? And she goes on to tell them
They
story
did
about
zero
how,
research.
she had a
None.
terrible marriage with my father, and he's abusive. And she put the E at the end because to avoid him finding us. Okay. So I don't know what they told her. If they're like, okay, fine, we get it straightened out. I don't know. But in the other room where I was being questioned, they were asking me, is there bruises on your body?
Okay.
Can I look at your arms? Can I look at your legs? So I showed them my arms. I showed them my legs. And I was terrified of being taken away from my mom because my mom raised me to believe that child services, the state, as she would call it, is evil, is bad people.
No.
And so I was
That's
terrified
not what she
to
said.
be taken away from my mom because at that time, yes, a lot of abuse was going on, but I also loved my mom very much.
Okay, there's another
And-
lie. There's another lie. She said in Dr. Phil, and she said this last year in her own live. Oh my God, I'm going to put all these lies together in a video. I promise you. You said last year, Gypsy, that you didn't have physical abuse. You said that out of your own mouth when you hopped off TikTok for the, 5th time. And you said, leave me the F alone. Y'all got what you want. You said you might not have had the physical part of abuse, but you understood the mental part. You said that. Also, oh my God, look at this. Anywhere you stop, you get the tongue. Anywhere. You said that out of your own mouth. You also told Dr. Phil, dude, I'm getting so angry I can't even spit it out. That's true, Kimmy. She could have arrested any time. Anytime she could have gotten up and walked away. Let me see what she said right
They
there.
were asking me questions that didn't pertain to my child.
Oh, she said in her book, when CPS came at the time, there was no abuse going on. None. So now she's telling him something totally different. In her own book, she said there was no abuse going on when CPS came. I swear to God. Oh my God. Hey, sunshine. It does me too, Cammy. It does me too.
Housing by proxy.
Okay.
There wasn't physical
Let me
hitting.
check my
There wasn't
grandson really
punching.
fast.
There wasn't physical abuse.
Yes.
So I didn't think to say I could walk because they were asking the wrong questions. And I'm not blaming them like, oh, this is their fault. I'm just saying I think that, in situations like this, Munchausen by proxy should have been looked at. If you see a child supposedly with all these medical issues, you have a doctor that writes in his notes, suspicion of Munchausen by proxy. Why aren't you asking those questions? The right questions.
Because that's not why they came. That's not. Oh my God, that's not why they came. They were not accusing your mother of Munchausen by proxy. If anything, they were accusing you, Gypsy, of Munchausen and malingering. That's what I think. But you did have an unknown etiology. That is not why CPS came to your house. When they left, CPS wrote that you were a mentally delayed child. Basically, you were I want to say something so bad, but I'm not. Oh, God. Basically, you had the mind of a child, that there were severe mental issues with you. That's not why they went. Why would they ask you, your mom or you, anything about that when that's not the reason they went there? Oh my God. She acted it. That's right, Jerry.
They had asked the right questions.
Exactly. He didn't report it.
I probably would have been so innocent and probably just told them the truth.
You don't know how to do that.
I didn't know what Munchausen by proxy was.
When you reflect back upon the procedures, what were all the procedures that the doctors ended up
listen.
doing?
So the most prominent ones were, of course, the feeding tube.
Oh.
Now, my mother claimed that I was having trouble swallowing. Now, I have no recollection of ever having any eating issues. The surgery happened when I was 8. So from birth all the way to 8 years old, eating perfectly fine.
Yes.
No issues. Then all of a sudden going to the hospital, having issues eating. And they had put the temporary feeding tube through the nostril. And then the doctor said, we want to do something more permanent. How about let's do a G tube?
Wow, I didn't realize you had a permanent feeding tube.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they put a permanent feeding tube, and I had that all the way up until the crime happened.
So all the way through your teens?
All the way through my teen years.
So does that mean that you then never...
It's not that I didn't eat by mouth, but ate very little by mouth.
Okay.
So I would like mashed potatoes. I was allowed to eat that, but I was mostly fed through the feeding tube with Pediasure or Ensure, which is just a supplemental nutrition shake.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So that was 9 all the way to your early 20s.
This is how little research this man did. He didn't know she had a permanent feeding tube, y'all. That's how little research he did. His team did. They did. They didn't know she had a permanent. This is embarrassing. And you know what, Paul? Maybe you should go sign Dom and Davion's law so that these Gypsy Roses stop profiting off of their real victim. You dropped this on her death anniversary. The diabolical, you guys. Diabolical. It is disgusting, and she loves it. If you want my honest opinion, Paul, because she was, said to have had antisocial personality disorder by that doctor who said, the worst, case of Munchausen he's ever seen done to a child was to her. Where all these doctor visits, there's no abuse reported? None? All these doctor visits, there's no the abuse she's talking about besides the medical. No cops, no neighbors, no family, nothing. But you know what is reported? Her side. Hers. Hold on one second. Let me get my
so almost 2 decades of having a feeding tube. What is physically, what does that do to you?
I think physically every 6 months I would have to have it changed because any sort of foreign object in your body, the stomach acid is going to erode it away. So every 6 months I'd have to have it changed, which is very uncomfortable. They don't put you under anesthesia or anything for that. And just kind of feeling the something foreign in your body, certain clothing I couldn't wear because it would snag and pull and tug. I mean, it's an open hole into your stomach.
Yes.
So growing up with that, it was something that I adjusted to. But it left me with a scar now that I don't have it. It looks like a second belly button.
Yeah. So then, Gypsy, what are some of the other procedures?
Okay, so if you notice, I have a scar. Okay, it's around my neck, and I also clear my throat a lot and have to drink a lot of water.
Whatever.
So my
Eat all the candy you want.
that produces saliva was removed from my neck. My mom would put Orajel before we would go into the doctor's appointment on my mouth to make me drool. Okay.
I can't believe
upon
she still says
examination, the doctor
this.
saw me drool. It's excessive drooling. There is a way to take care of that. So let's remove the salivary glands.
Wow. And that's a major procedure.
Mm-hmm.
And you are how old when that procedure happens?
That procedure happened in 2007, I believe.
Okay, 2007.
My mom always would tell me, I'm doing the talking. Just be the girl, play with your stuffed animals.
Okay.
Yeah.
In other words, don't.
That's not true either. Gypsy, they did a dye study on you. She leaves this out too. They did a feeding. Oh my gosh, what's it called? Oh my gosh, you guys know what I'm talking about because Bree threw such a big fit about it. Why didn't they do a case study or something like that on her? Well, they did. They did a dye study, and she even says this in her book or in the emails. Becca went over this actually. So it's definitely on Becca's. I'd have to go back and find it. They did that before they even did like the feeding tube and all this. And then they did another one after. So is this all from the 8-month stint? And her mom was forcing her to salivate. That's been proven that doesn't work. Oragel's not going to sit and make you spit like that. And also in the doctors, I want to put this out there too. In the doctor notes, they're saying that she is salivating more on purpose. They think she is like making herself drool more. The doctors are. Not Dee Dee. You don't think that they would know that? I swear to God. The fact that she still uses this and it can be disproven, Orajel is not going to make you salivate like that. They said she was like doing it on purpose. She was exaggerating symptoms. Oh my God. Have you performed them, Lola? Lola. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Heather. She still is. We just saw her do her get ready with me video, and it's permanent spit. Like it looks like she's got permanent gloss on her lips. Thank you, Lola. Lola has performed these, and she said she's lying. So let's listen to some more lies.
Don't say anything.
Right, and if you be good, which means stay quiet, we get to go to Toys R Us and a toy store as soon as we leave.
I would imagine too is that you're so used to going to the doctor that this is just a normal.
This is just routine.
You guys, how many of your parents told you if you behave at the doctor's office, you'll get a toy? How many of you have told your children, if you behave, we'll go to the toy store after, or we'll go to McDonald's or whatever? She is such a little narcissist. That is very common because the child is scared. The child doesn't want to do it. Of course, the child is going to not be maybe perfectly behaved. That's so common, and she's using that against Dee Dee. I can't.
Space routine. At home, when you're not in the hospital, you would then just remain in your wheelchair.
I don't know.
Our day-to-day life was me in the wheelchair. I didn't get up and walk around unless she was not in the house. Oh, so if she left the house to, say, go to the grocery store for a second, I would get up and walk around. I would test the limits.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to explain it to you really fast. Hold on. Okay, so Kimmy's from the UK. She doesn't understand what Medicaid is. So Medicaid is a government insurance that, basically because Dee Dee took care of her, she didn't have a job. There was everything's pretty much covered and paid for through Medicaid. But you have to get referrals. I mean, it has to be, and they have to approve it. Medicaid does. So the doctor might say, hey, she needs this surgery, but Medicaid's got to pay for it and approve it before she can get the surgery. They deny so many surgeries. I'll put it to you this way. Even so anything government like that, like Medicaid or unemployment, Medicare, They are the final say if you get a procedure done, if you need to get a referral for, I don't know, back pain, or to go get therapy for whatever it is. They have the final say. My brother got into a rock fall in the coal mines in West Virginia. And my grandfather actually passed away in a coal mining accident when my dad was 9. That rock fell on him at midnight, exactly on New Year's Eve. And it is a very dangerous place to work, right? So you would think that it's not like unemployment. What's it called when it's not unemployment, but he's injured, so it's whatever that's called. I forget. It's all the same though. Basically Medicaid, basically whatever. But he had a rock fall on him. It landed on his arm. They couldn't get that boulder off of him for hours. What ended up happening was it cut off the blood supply to his arm, and the tissue, like all his muscles, everything. When they finally got it off, his arm was swollen. It was huge. He had to have one simple surgery. It was very simple. They just needed to go in and cut the muscle and cut the arm so that it could drain and not kill and let his muscle die, right? They denied him 3 times. This is how hard it is to get Medicaid, Medicare, somebody who has unemployment or workman's comp. That's what it is. They're all the same thing because they're government funded insurances, right? You don't understand. They ain't just going to say, yup, we're just going to let her do it. Her mama said she needed it. So, yup, let's go give her the salivary gland removal. My God. It's not even the doctor's final say. That's what's crazy. Medicaid decides if she's going to have that surgery, not even the doctor. They're going to say, hey, you know what? We're going to approve it or we're not. And they approved it because they thought she needed it. That's where, oh my God, his muscle ended up dying because if they would have just cut it and let it drain, he would have, basically he didn't lose his arm. It's still there. He just has no muscle. It's so crazy to look at him because, he's got big muscle in his left arm and there's no muscle there really. And that could have all been prevented, but they would not do it. That's how hard it is to get permanent approval from these people. It's insanity. So for her to sit here and say Dee Dee said, and they just did it, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Oh, our system sucks, Kimmy. You guys have much better health care than we do and everything. Our health care is ridiculous. That's a whole other topic. But Medicaid and Medicare and all the like workman's comp, unemployment, all those people, all the government funded places like that, you could say you need a chemo and they can deny it. Honest to God, like they are about money. I'll put it to you that way. They're not just going to approve it and say, yep. It's crazy.
Leg strength wasn't great, obviously, because I hadn't been walking like normal. But just to kind of feel like, hey, I'm walking.
Yes. Did you ever think or bring up the fact that you could walk?
I did many times, and it always resulted in an argument. And it always
I'm confused, Gypsy. I'm confused. You told Nick that you didn't tell your mom. You never told your mom. You didn't tell your mom. You said you lied to your mother about being able to walk because you didn't want to lose her love and attention. That's on video coming out of your mouth. So, just wondering, which is it? I can't.
Resulted in some form of it bringing all of it back to her. Like, you don't love me. I'm supposed to be the one you trust. I'm supposed to be the one you love. But if you feel like you can go and do better with your dad, then go. Like, it was always like this level of manipulation.
No.
Like, anytime that I would bring up, I'm not as sick as you're saying, it was always an argument.
Here's the thing. I do believe they got into an argument over Gypsy running away with 50-year-old men who were rug addicts. Let's not forget that, Paul. These arguments took place when she was an adult, not a kid. Okay, these arguments were not when she was this little teen who didn't have anything, to do and was locked away from the world. She was an adult. She was running away with 50-year-old men in hotels and having schmecks with them. And her mother wasn't telling, pretty much her mother said she had had enough. She was going to kick her out is what was going to happen. Not what she's saying. Dee Dee absolutely threatened to kick Gypsy out. Yeah. Because, on the FOIA documents, the web browser history shows Dee Dee looking up shelters for troubled teens, troubled youth, up to 23 years old. She was 23. Even looked up therapy for mother-daughter. Looking up why do teens steal like medicine, and what medications are common that they did steal. Yes, Dee Dee was afraid and scared of this liar. She plotted and planned this murder for 2 years. This wasn't MVP. She was an adult. Also, Paul, she had full from 2008. I think it was, right after she found out she had the 1Q21.1. Gypsy had full, as soon as she turned 18, she had full decision over her medical, whatever it is. She had full control of it, not Dee Dee. And she canceled everything. All of a sudden, she's better now. But the entire time before that, she's telling her mother she's so sick and lying to her mother. Man.
And then I felt like I had lost a mom. And I didn't want to lose my mom. And so, some would say I went along with that.
You
perspective
did.
Is everything.
Because it was you.
I went along with it. Okay, but look at the reasons behind it. You have a child that wants her mom to love her.
Yes. That really hit me because I see.
Yeah, Paul, she did it because she didn't want her mother to know she had been lying the entire time. She didn't want to lose that love and attention from her mom. She said that. So she's kind of right there. She's just stretching the truth of it.
That accident.
Mm-hmm.
I also see what was happening in her house. Mm-hmm. I see the circumstances in which you were born.
You don't see crap.
Unknowing what happened to your mother, in her childhood.
Yeah.
And how each incident created to this spiral, as you mentioned. And you feel as if you're losing your mom.
Yeah.
And so you're just fighting to keep her.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes fighting to keep her is just staying silent.
Look at her.
Yes.
No, she's like, I don't care.
Did you feel love from anyone outside of the love that you assume that your mother was providing you? But did you feel love? And when I say love, is this emotional safety, physical safety? Did you feel that with anyone?
Back then?
Yes.
No.
She's so
Did you
full
feel
of crap, man. Oh my God.
Yes, for a time. Until I got a little older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you begin to feel that love, and now that you reflect back as an adult, is what was happening for you? What was going on for you as a child who doesn't feel safe emotionally or physically?
There was anger towards her I felt allowing my grandfather to take care of me at that time. And so I blamed her for what happened to me with getting molested.
But wait, guys, she just said she didn't know it was wrong. I'm confused. She just said she didn't know that it was wrong what her grandfather was doing. Did she just not say that and didn't realize that until she was until after the arrest? Did she just not say she didn't know that was wrong? But now she's blaming Dee Dee because she knew it was wrong and she was angry that her mother allowed her grandfather to do that, but yet just said she thought it was normal and didn't know anything was wrong because she didn't know anything about that kind of stuff. How does he allow this how did he not catch that? He just talked to her about that like 20 minutes ago. How did he not catch that? I would love to know. Yeah, she did. You're right, Kels. Ugh.
And there was resentment that boiled up. It wasn't there in early childhood because I was so innocent.
Okay.
No,
then,
you weren't, dude. Your grandfather said you were touching people inappropriately at a young age. You also told Nick that when you were like 6 or 9, that you tried kissing and touching a girl who was way younger than you, and she got scared and ran. Do you remember that, Gypsy? You weren't innocent. You're such a liar.
The more time went on, the more anger and resentment built up.
But you said you didn't know.
You don't let me go over to Dad's and spend nights over or weeks over with Dad. I can never keep a friend. I might have a friend for a week, and then all of a sudden, my mom starts to get jealous of this friend. And we're talking a child.
Yes.
We're talking an 8-year-old.
No, that's the opposite, Paul. She got jealous. Gypsy, she didn't keep friends because everybody was scared of her. But let's get that straight. There is all the kids were scared of her. She didn't have friends. She had tons of friends. She says that I'm the little local hometown celebrity. She might not have had friends that did sleepovers because I don't think Dee Dee trusted leaving another child in that house alone with her because she knew what Gypsy was, if you want my opinion. That's the truth. Exactly, Lola. You were, and I was getting ready to say that, Betty Davis, that she got angry because her mother gave the cat attention. She said her mother gave the cat attention on purpose to make her feel bad. She was jealous of a cat. It's in the book, Paul. If you would actually do your research and read it, that's what she said. Hey, you know what? I mean, that could be a lie too. This girl is, she should be in the Guinness Book of World Record for the amount of lies she's told.
Your old child that you're getting jealous of.
It's not true.
And it was always something that was wrong.
If Dee Dee was so jealous, why did she go without? Why did Dee Dee look like she was in rags all the time, but yet constantly buying you, Gypsy, your Star Wars and your princess crowns and your prom dresses and other dresses, constantly taking you to Disney, making sure you had the best life you possibly could? Why were you in pageants? Why were you in Girl Scouts? Why were you in cheerleading? Why were you in, I know she went to church, and then I also know she went to Bible study. Jesus. If you want my honest opinion, she had a pretty great childhood. I think Dee Dee gave her the best childhood she could for being a single mom and a dad who didn't want you, Gypsy, because he didn't want you. That's the truth. Your dad could have came seen you from those text exchange that we seen. He was invited all the time. Your mother constantly was praising your dad about how great of a father he was, trying to get him to have a relationship with you. God.
We're off about that.
Exactly,
so
Arista.
I no longer have that friend. And it happened over and over and over again. Most people have that best friend child, the best friend growing up as a child. I never had that. Never had that. And that was a continuous cycle for everyone in my life. And so it's like I knew that no matter who it would be that I would get close to, it wouldn't matter because they would be, it wouldn't be in my life forever. The only forever was my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, because your mom's the only one who could put up with your nonsense, Gypsy.
Everything.
Mm-hmm. Did even when you were in the same house, did you? I read that you slept in the same bed.
We slept in the same bed. Mm-hmm. The only time that I was ever sleeping in my own room in my own bed was as a punishment.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is a small child, young child. I grew up. I loved sleeping with my mom as a child. And I was afraid of the dark.
Exactly. She's afraid of the dark. She slept with her mom because she was scared. She slept in the floor beside her mother because she was scared of the dark. Let's be real, Gypsy. God. She leaves little tidbits of clues and little tidbits of truth in there and then doesn't think you'll put it together because she doesn't have common sense. But she does have the conniving, the malicious intents, the psychopathic tendencies. Allegedly, this is just my opinions. This is not facts. These are my opinions. Well, there is a lot of facts I'm telling you, but stuff like this is my opinion. It's my opinion.
And so a punishment of mine would be, you have to sleep in your room, and I would cry and I would cry.
Never heard this before.
But it's certain things in parenting that it's like you need to show your child gain some independence and not make independence a punishment.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I will imagine now, more so than anything, you're very aware.
Oh yes, I'm very aware.
Yes, of that.
Because she's
what
lying.
did you enjoy doing as a child?
As a child, I loved playing outside. I loved, as a small child, I had a bunch of cousins, and we'd do cousins by the dozens nights. All the cousins would come over and do sleepovers. I loved to watch TV. I loved dressing up. Loved Disney movies. Loved playing with my dolls and Hot Wheels. Like, my toys and my mom was like my comfort.
Okay, and I can see how she used the toy store, because that was it.
Yeah.
It was the toys. I love a good Hot Wheel myself.
Yeah, they are big collectors.
Yeah, very good, very good. There's been an endless number of documentaries, TV specials, extended podcasts about your life.
Yeah.
It centers around your childhood, the crime. Was there anything that you want to clarify that you've seen or heard about from these documentaries that you do believe is inaccurate?
Oh, let's listen.
That's a loaded question. I mean,
what's so loaded?
Nothing that I could really touch on specifically. I mean, all I know is that, from birth to 5 years oldish, the simplicity of having my mom, even with the medical stuff. I loved my mom so much at that time.
Oh
my mom was my
God.
I see. She was everything and the only thing that she had.
Yeah.
Real quick, hit subscribe, and I'll tell you why.
No.
It allows us to continue making a show right now. I'm in LA, and by you subscribing, we can go any.
No.
And so, you then start dating.
Kind of, sort of. Kind of.
How does that happen? And also, how does your mother react to that? Because you just mentioned when it comes to platonic friends, she runs them away. So how do you start doing that?
Well, my mom. How do I put this? My mom was very anti-men. Once my father broke her heart, it's kind of like I grew up with a mom that became bitter. I'm just going to put it out there, bitter. That every man is a horrible douchebag that is just out to hurt everyone. So my mom never, my mom wanted me to be a nun, literally, and she was going to put me in a convent. So she really wanted.
No, Gypsy, that was you. Again, we have your transcripts of you and Nick talking. You wanted to be a nun. So you could do that I'm a good girl act. You pushed that theory, not your mom. I remember her even telling Rod in the emails, in the text messages, especially when all that happened with Mia, that you even wanted to be a nun. She was so proud of you. That was you, Gypsy, not your mom. My God, oh my God. You told Nick that you wanted to be a nun, but you also wanted to have, your husband and children and the whole fairy tale too. Whatever.
Me to be a nun, even though I never expressed to her that I wanted to be one.
I know.
So knowing that, I always knew she didn't want me to date. You can't stop the curiosity in a child or a teen. And that's where I was at. I was curious about the opposite sex. I was wondering, so-and-so lives down the street. She has a boyfriend.
Right.
And I started comparing my life to other, people around my age. Watching the Disney Channel, they have these sort of pseudo boyfriends on TV shows and stuff.
Yes.
So I started getting curious, but I got curious in the wrong way. So instead of, obviously kids meet other kids via school. I wasn't in school. So I went to the internet. And
Huh? Sorry, his friends. It's harder when you have a kid here. Oh, it stopped. I'm so sorry, guys.
I found creeps on the internet. I did things on the internet I'm not proud of, like take my clothes off for strangers. These men that I would, meet online.
Did you hear her? She did things she wasn't proud of. on the internet for strangers. She's admitting it. You didn't just take clothes off, baby girl. You went full-fledged porno. And let me remind you, these were all older men who had like drug addictions and SA charges and were on parole and probation. Again, you were an adult though. You weren't a young teen. So she's misleading him in that sense. This is what I keep saying to you guys. I feel like I know I wanted to be a nun, but you guys, she wanted to be a nun, but she was taking her clothes off for strangers. She is disgusting. I'm sorry. Yeah. And just like the cellmate said, she talked nonstop about wanting to sleep with her lawyer. Nothing but sex. It's always sex, 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 sex. Why did Ryan say he loved her so much? Because she's a freak. He's a freak. She's a freak. I think that's why he's still obsessed with her, because she meets his freak. I doubt it, Darlene. Heather, I doubt it. Oh my God.
They were predatory. And I wasn't thinking anything different other than, yeah, this is an experience that I've had before.
So normal.
It was normal.
What?
So it's kind of like I made a secret Facebook account that she didn't know about. I was adding strangers on there, meeting what I thought would be friends.
Yes.
And then there was a kind of like, I don't know if you know what Comic-Con is, or like a sci-fi convention type of thing. So there was one that would happen in Springfield, Missouri every year. It was called VisionCon.
Okay.
And so anyway, my mom takes us to this convention, and we meet lots of nice people. We have a great time. I dressed up like a princess. Like, it was fun. I started adding all these people that went to the convention on my Facebook.
Okay.
And they would say like, oh, it's so nice to see you at the convention. So at least there was some level of like interaction, like, oh, you were at the convention, so was I. And there was a guy that was at the convention. He sent me a Facebook request. His name was Dan, and he was much older than I was. So I was real age, 18, 19. But my mom was trying to pass me off as 15. Okay, so he thought that I was 15.
Okay.
He was 36 at the time.
Okay.
And started talking on Facebook.
Skipping right over Richard Keene.
I thought he was cute. And he was kind of digging me too.
Okay. Is this your first kind of interaction?
No.
Pseudo-romantic?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So we flirted for a while, and then I started telling him more about my life. And my mom had caught us talking on the phone, and she threatened him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then I was going through my mom's purse, and I found my my health insurance card, and it said my birthday was 1991. And so I'm like, that would make me 18, 19.
Oh, guys, now she's saying she found it in her mother's purse, but she said she found it while her mother was gone from home, and she was looking through her mother's room and found her birth certificate and social security card. So now she found, why would Dee Dee have her birth certificate in her purse anyways? I would love to know. Or maybe she found the social security card. I don't know. Also, you remember whenever coming back from Dan's, she said that her mother threatened her with all that when she went and got her from Dan's house, and that she told her she knew her real age and showed her the birth certificate, and then went into Office Depot, I think it was, something like that. I think. I don't know. But that she went in and made a copy of the birth certificate and whited it out and put her birth date, like the other birth date, in so she could make her look younger. I would love to know, Gypsy, how did your mom do that? Because you said just magically she came out of the store and she used whiteout or something and made that birth date back to you being younger. Where did she get the typewriter? She didn't just write it in, Gypsy. How did she get those numbers to match everything else on that birth certificate? And do you think Your mother could walk into an office supply store, take a birth certificate, say, hey, make a copy of this, but change the birth date on it for me. Do you think anybody would do that? How dumb does she think people are? I just can't believe the stories that come out of her mouth that she truly believes we're supposed to just be like, okay, that makes sense. Oh my God.
Not 15. So I tell this to him, and I'm like, well, that would make me legal. Like, I can go live with you. Like, you know, like all this were like ideas.
Yes.
And he's like, well, if you're legal, then you could just get up and leave. Like, you could leave. And I'm like, I don't have a car. I don't have a way to leave. And so he's like, I'll take you as far as Arkansas. Like, we can live together on a ranch in Arkansas. So
he denies this, by the way.
Him that he's in the hospital. That he wants me to join him in the hospital. He wants someone to be there with him. He got beat up. So I pack a bag, and in the middle of the night, I get out of my mom's bed, pack a bag, go out the front door, hitchhike, meet him at the hospital, and he didn't have a home. He was couch surfing at his friends. And so we go to his friends. They realize that I'm there, and they recognize me from the convention. And they realize this girl is 15 years old. So they got in contact with a mutual friend of my mom's. Told my mom where I was. 4 hours later, my mom comes to pick me up.
Oh my goodness.
And she told me, she's like, if you come back with me, I'll let you see him.
She's the
fullest. So I get in the car. I'm like, okay. I mean, at this time, I'm like all courage. And I'm like, I know I'm 19 and I know that I can see him.
Yes.
And she's like, if you come back with me, I will let you see him. So I go back with my mom. And that's when I got chained, tied. To me, all these, words restrained to the bed happened for 2 weeks.
I lost 110 pounds. You couldn't tell it.
Oh, no.
Probably because
Yeah, she sounds so ridiculous, you guys. It's mind-blowing.
2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
You were tied to the bed?
Mm-hmm. So what my mom did was she took a dog leash and clipped it and tied it to a pair of handcuffs and then put it around the bed. And then whenever I would need to go to the bathroom, she would undo it. And then she had a way, because we're in the same bed, so she can tell if I would move or whatever, she'd wake up. And
she's such a liar.
She put bells on the doors and then eventually put a padlock on the door. Blacked out all the windows with tint, window tint.
I just want to remind you guys that Dee Dee didn't even have a door to her room. The door was removed from Dee Dee's bedroom. So where's the padlock? This pisses me off because I have spoke about my situation and said that they put padlocks on the doors and turn the doorknobs around, and that's the truth. And she's lying. There was never handcuffs found at that home, only with Nicholas, and it was the one she ordered a couple weeks before the crime. There were no other handcuffs found inside that home. There was never a dog leash found in the home either, or outside. So this is what I'm talking about, where she takes other people's stories and other people's traumas and situations that they've been through, and she uses their stories, and people are just like, yep, that happened to her. And yet, when it happens to somebody who really went through it, they're the ones who will get questioned and called a liar. And why not? Because you have people like this making a joke out of it. It's crazy.
That's when she started hitting me. That's when the hitting started.
At this point, you're 18, 19, but she's telling you that you're 15.
Yes.
Your relationship with your mother, do you perceive her to still love you?
I didn't feel like it was love. I felt like it was a need. Like she needs me because she doesn't have anyone else.
Okay.
And so it's like after she tied me up, I gained enough trust to where I'm like, I'm not going to leave again. I'm not going to leave again. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to leave. So that trust was built up enough to be let off the chain. Well, then it's like soon after I attempt to run away again.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But this time, she found, and looking back on it, I'm like, why pack a damn bag? Just get out of the freaking house. Because I kept packing bags. Let me pack a bag.
Right.
She found my bag. And so she knew I was going to run away again. And I owned up to it too. I was like, just let me leave and you'll never see me again. Just forget about me. Just let me go. And she's like, I won't, and I can't, you're not leaving. And that's when I proceeded to take a BB gun, and I knew full and well it was a BB gun. It was.
You know what? That's a lie. She did not know full and well, Paul. I have an actual video put together where she said in Mommy, Dad, and Dearest, and even on the phone, that she did not know that it was a BB gun. And it's not a BB gun, Gypsy. It's a pellet gun. It's not plastic pellets hitting Dee Dee. It was metal, like pointed pellets, not little plastic BBs, Paul. She did not know that the gun wasn't real. Why? Because in the first story, she said she was relieved when she saw the gun wasn't real and that she actually didn't kill her mother. She was relieved. I told you guys that that's why they got into that argument. She's never said she pulled the BB gun because of Dan. I told you guys I felt that's why she pulled that pellet gun on Dee Dee. It was because she got into an argument over Dan. Here's the thing, Gypsy. I think your mother told you to date somebody your own age, to stay away. Hey, Paul, let me ask you, Mr. We Need to Talk. We need to talk, Paul. How would you feel if your 20-year-old daughter was dating a 36-year-old convicted felon who is out on parole or probation, whichever, who was a rug addict, and your daughter was stealing your pain medication and your money to take to him? How would you feel, Paul? Would you just be like, okay, you know what? Go ahead. Or would you be like, no, you're not going to date them. I'm not allowing it. If you want to do it, you can pack your crap and leave. And that's exactly what I think she tried doing. And Dee Dee didn't stop her. That's what I think happened. That's why I think she packed her bags. Dee Dee actually didn't stop her. Because let's not forget the videos in the FOIAs. How many times did she say in the videos that her mom was done with her? Her mom was kicking her out. That her mom was fed up with her. How many times did we see that in different videos to Nick? And what did she tell Nick? My mom's not going to support us. She's not going to take care of us. She's not going to help us raise a baby, help us with transportation, clothe us, feed us, do all the things we don't make money, but my mom's not willing to finance our love escapade for us, because Dan was homeless too. What did you think Dee Dee was going to be like, oh, just let Dan move in? No. She goes on to lie more. Oh my, she absolutely wanted to kill with that gun. Absolutely. She did. She thought the gun was real and then was relieved that it wasn't. She says it out of her own mouth in Mommy, Dad, and Dearest. It wasn't misinformation from documentaries that producers did. It came out of your mouth, Gypsy. Your mouth. Then in Gypsy's Revenge, you said you knew it was a pellet gun. What you keep saying BB because you're making it look less serious when it was way more serious. So again, Paul, do you think it's different to get shot with plastic BBs or metal pointed pellets? Just curious.
It's not going to kill her. I took a BB gun and she came toward me and I freaked out and I released the BB gun. One hit her in the clavicle, one hit in the leg. They were superficial wounds. They broke the skin, but ultimately a Band-Aid covered it up.
I am going to freaking lose it. Ultimately, superficial. Just put a Band-Aid on and it was okay there. We're good. She had to go to the ER. Paul, I counted 30 plus wounds, open wounds on her head, on her. She had self-defense wounds on her hands where she was putting her hands up to block the pellets from hitting her. No, she had 3 little round Band-Aids right here on her chest where she got shot. She got shot in the head, by the eye, on the face, in her arms, yeah, in the clavicle, on her legs. She sure did, even in her butt. You didn't just shoot a few times, Gypsy. You unloaded that pellet gun on her.
And then after that happened, like, we both had this moment of like, sit on the bed, holy shit moment. And I was never the type to be violent, ever. I never yelled at my mom. I never hit my mom. It was at that moment that I realized that something in.
She never yelled at her mom or never hit her mom. Do y'all believe that? Look at the cross-eyed gremlin. She's extra crossed right there. That's a lie. I mean, I don't believe that for a second. You pulled a flipping gun on her. You're going to tell me you never yelled at her? You told Nick your mom couldn't handle your freakouts. Your freakouts consist of what? Oh, like the video that we just saw. Paul, did you not see the video that was just released of Gypsy? You know, out of prison with the baby father, baby daddy, whatever. Gets angry and says, this is how I feel about you. And goes to jab and cut up a blanket during a freak out. A freak out that she had when she was with her mom, when she was with Nick, and even now. So, man, miss me with that too.
And me snapped. That I could snap in that big of a way.
What was your mother's response?
Right.
I honestly feel like she never expected to be trapped in her own choices. Her own design was falling apart in front of her. And I don't think that she realized that, and I don't mean this in any sort of mean way, but I don't think she realized I had the guts to stand up for myself in any meaningful way.
And so,
you know what I think?
Is it at this point where you then join the Christian dating site?
I did.
Okay.
Oh, I did? No, I think it shocked her that Dee Dee actually stood up to her and didn't baby and coddle her and told her she had to choose. And that she told her she was going to kick her out. That's what I think. If you want my honest opinion, I think it shocked her that Dee Dee finally stood up to her for once. That's what I think. Just my opinion.
About a year later.
Okay.
About a year later, I had joined the Christian website. And then the first thing that I noticed of Nick's profile is he likes to play video games.
Okay. You're chatting back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Does your mother become aware? No.
So I had a secret Facebook. I had, a secret Skype account.
Wow. Okay.
I have a conversation with him that I want to meet him. We want to meet each other in real life.
Okay. So wow, Gypsy. So how long had you and Nick been corresponding without having met?
It was like 2 years.
2
It
years.
was like 2 years. Yeah.
You had never met?
Never met.
Okay.
No. Yeah. I mean, it was just like kind of like Skype calls and stuff like that, all on the internet.
Okay.
And so we make a plan, and I'm like, listen, my mom is not going to just let me just date anybody. So maybe if she meets you, she could see what a nice person you are, and she'll like you. You could be my friend, and then like I could ask her if you could maybe be my boyfriend, and then we wouldn't have to hide or lie anymore. Right? So we think of this event, like where possibly could I be and you be? And I wanted to see the new Cinderella remake, the live action remake that came out in 2015. So we decided, okay, that's where we're going to meet up. So my mom and I are going to go see the movie, and you're going to be there too to see the movie, but we're not together. We're going to be like, never met.
I see it.
Okay. So we're standing in line, comes the day, we're standing in line getting popcorn and stuff like that. And he's there alone. But I didn't realize the optics of how that would look. Like, here's this guy that's alone, doesn't have kids, doesn't have a girlfriend, doesn't have a wife, nothing like that.
Look how happy she is.
I did not how.
Look at her smiling, reliving this.
Until you got it.
No, until years later, they're like, yeah, that was kind of creepy. Like, what were we thinking? But my mom called it. She's like, this guy is giving me weird vibes. And so we're in the auditorium, and my mom and I are sitting next to each other. Well, he comes sit next to me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My mom decides, hey, this guy's going to give me the creeps. So she moves several seats down. I stay put. I'm sitting with him. I'm not moving. She gets pissed that I didn't move with her. So throughout the whole movie, she's sitting there, and I'm sitting over there with him. She's mad at me at this point. Like, I know I'm in trouble at this point.
Yes.
And he and I had previously discussed that we were going to have sex in the bathroom. So
let me just stop really fast, Paul. Do you know what she told him? Nick didn't want to have sex in the bathroom at the theater. She did it. She got in her little wheelchair, went outside. She went looking at all the little places around her house, showing Nick everywhere they could have sex. Nick didn't want to have sex at the theater. But you know what she said? Oh, you are. Whether they decided to do it at her house or not, they are having sex at the theater to bring his A game. She didn't give Nick an option. She's the freak. She's the one, not Nick. And you said, oh, you talked for 2 years? She picked him out to take Dee Dee out. She plotted and planned to take Dee Dee out for 2 years. That's not just, oh, I need to save my life kind of plan. Like, last minute, I'm terrified. There was nothing happening. Oh my God. It just blows my mind. She did. And I also want to remind you guys that the local Springfield newspaper posted an article right before I want to say, I think it might have been even about the Olay Foundation. I'm not sure, because Gypsy was a little local celebrity and was always getting interviews for her colleges. She would go speak. She would sing. I'm not even going to attempt to sing that song because I like nails on a chalkboard. But if you guys remember, Dee Dee gushed about Nick in that paper. That little news article for her little hometown. Dee Dee gushed about Nick. Love that she was dating somebody like Nick. She's lying. So, and New York Times reposted that news article when they arrested Gypsy and Nicholas. I posted it in my videos, and I don't know if I posted it in the comment post, but Nick said he spoke to Dee Dee on the phone quite a few times. Nick said Dee Dee was always nice to him. Just saying. So she's a liar.
So, to the bathroom, to the men's bathroom, or the handicap stall. He follows me in. We attempt to have sex. Doesn't work out.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because you're disgusting.
And I go back, sit next to my mom. She proceeds to take me to the bathroom on the opposite side, slaps me across the face, and says, "You were going too long. What were you doing?" So I was like, nothing. Of course I'm gonna say nothing.
Right.
So the movie ends. We leave. He
Poncho.
takes a cab back to his hotel, and we have a huge argument at the house.
You and your mother.
Me and my mom.
Okay.
About how she got the creeps from this guy, like why I didn't go sit with her, like the smallest little things, which just kind of set her off. So I'm like, I'm sorry, I was just trying to make a new friend. I was doing my best to kind of like bridge that connection because I really wanted both of them in my life. I wanted my mom in my life, and I wanted Nick in my life. And she was not budging. She got a bad vibe from him from the beginning.
You and Nick then just continue messaging back and forth.
Continue messaging.
And you feel like this is your boyfriend still.
Yep.
And then your relationship with your mother, does it continue to deteriorate?
Yes, continues to deteriorate. And we had previously, knocked around the idea of murder.
You did.
You say you can't remember your childhood?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something important. You can't remember.
It was all stemming from a conversation where he's like, it was an argument between me and my mom. Stuff got physical. She hit me. I told him and she hit me. And he's like, I'm going to protect you from anyone. I said, anyone? He said, anyone. I said, even my mom? And he said, yes, even your mom. Like, I'll take her out too. And never thinking that was actually going to happen.
That's not what happened.
So for you, it wasn't a serious thought.
It wasn't a serious thought until after what happened at the movie theater.
Okay. So really, so after the movie theater, then at that point, help me understand how it became a serious thought after the movie theater.
Because that's when I started to realize, like, no matter what I do, I will never be able to be my own person, never have my own freedom, never make my own choices. I'll never get married. Like, all of the thoughts of, like, what is my life going to be like in the next 20 and 30 years? Is it going to be like...
She's going to leave out the whole after in her book. Listen.
Is my life going to continue to be this for the rest of my life? My youth gone. Any happy moments of future children, anything like this. How long is this going to continue? And that thought kept going in my head over and over and over again. So yes, the desperate thought of, I want my mom out of the picture. And it's like, I didn't want her dead necessarily.
You guys, she didn't want her dead. She just tried to shoot her with a gun, chase her down with daggers. Asked 2 different men to take her mother out. But she didn't want her dead. She didn't plan it for 2 years. She, not necessarily... she just wanted her out of the picture so she could have all the money, the house, and live her fairy tale life, thinking she could still grift and use her illness to still rake in money. I promise you, I think she thought she was coming back to that little pink house and Nick was going to go to prison and Dan was going to move in with her. I will never not die on this hill. If she didn't intend to take Nick out, which I don't know, but I do believe she tried to set Nick up. She didn't have a bus ticket. She never planned on going. Why wouldn't she have done that? Why wouldn't she have made sure to get that bus ticket to go with him? She was supposed to meet Dan that night. She leaves all that out, though. She don't talk about any of that. You planned this for 2 years, Gypsy. You didn't want to kill her? You didn't want her dead? Oh, God. This chick, I swear to God. Yes. She wanted Dan. 1,000%. It was never Nick. She was online with Dan 24/7. What? Who? Bree? No, I'm kidding. Just kidding.
If she would have went to prison, I would have been all the happier. But that, unfortunately, was a conversation he and I had.
Okay. So you had it.
Mhm.
And also, I'm curious, Gypsy, at this point, you are roughly how old? Because I know age-wise,
Mhm.
You don't know exactly.
I was 23.
Okay,
That's
okay,
right.
you were 23.
That's right.
So this is even more fascinating because you're an adult at this point.
So
But you still feel
fascinating,
as if
guys.
You are trapped
This is
in your
fascinating.
mother's home,
Mhm.
and you'll never be able to leave it.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, she's trapped in her home with her mother. Can't ever leave. Ever. But yet she has how many videos we saw online of her doing inappropriate sexual things just out in the living room, in the bathroom with the door wide open, outside in her wheelchair looking for places that her and Nick can sleep together when he comes. I'm sorry. She was trapped. Couldn't do nothing, y'all. Couldn't do nothing. She was trapped in there. You're not a stupid man. There's no way that you're going to sit here and say that. You know, Nick had level 2 autism, Asperger's. He begged her to run away. How many times? Up till the day it happened. He begged her just to run away with him. She said no.
The relationship with Nick as well is, how would you characterize it? Because I've seen moments or excerpts where it's been characterized as abusive.
Okay, love
But how do you characterize that
Toxic.
relationship? It was toxic.
Toxic. Very, very toxic.
Okay. How so?
Our personalities were not a good fit. Our backgrounds was not a good fit. I say, and I say this in my book, Nick was the car, I was the key. He was the gasoline, I was the fire.
Here she goes.
Separately, probably not dangerous. Together, catastrophic.
Everyone keeps asking me how I do my podcast alone.
Anybody that associates with her is catastrophic. I can promise you.
Because he brought a component to me and I brought a component to him that resulted in tragedy. His conversations with me was predominantly about sex. It was predominantly about overpowering a woman because he had an interest in this BDSM.
So did you, Gypsy. That was all you. How come the exact same BDSM and role play and sex was what Dan Glidewell was so interested into you? Like, that's the whole reason he was interested in you. He never said you were his girlfriend, ever. He said you just showed up at his hospital. And he had to take you to his friend's house. But those friends made sure you left. Oh my God, I can't listen to all this. I cannot do it. I I swear to God. I might have to do.
Slave
Hi,
relationship.
Danielle.
And he had this with his
We might have to
ex-girlfriend
do
as well.
like
So
two.
it was before me,
Because I
very
thought
late
to
and after me.
flip.
So this is not something I
I
brought to the
thought to flip my
relationship. This
table.
is something that he had a thing for. And I had not heard of this sort of master-slave relationship until meeting him. And so I did what I could to fulfill that fantasy for him. And that included making videos that we would send back and forth to each other. Those videos have now been released to the public.
Is that because of the court case or for
Yes.
other reasons? Okay.
They are quite humiliating because these videos were intimate. They're not meant for the public. They were meant for Nick and Nick and only at the time. But any
I'm sorry, they weren't meant for the public. Maybe not plotting and planning to kill your mother. You never have to worry about that. But they're not even really intimate like you guys are trying to. They're disgusting. I mean, I'm sure I wouldn't want me out there with the toothbrush and barbecue sauce either. I don't feel any sympathy for her. None. Over this happening. None.
thing from, doing sexual acts to saying really disturbing things that I definitely
I
regret
wish.
right
Jay,
now.
Right.
my last live, I lost followers my last live. Yeah. Because, I gave my opinion. I will never understand, though. Like, I know content creators have spoken my videos or commented, and I try, but they don't want anything to do with me. I'm too much of a crybaby. I admit it. I am a crybaby. I cry over my trauma, in my opinion. So I did lose subs last live, but that's fine. I don't mind it. I'm always going to speak my mind, though. I can't not do it. I just can't. Oh, I don't know. I think she'll always love it. I love you guys, too. I don't really care. It is what it is. I saw somebody on TikTok talk about content creators and that they were content creators. And I'm like, you guys sat on a panel literally all day for like 3 to 5 to 6 hours. I don't care. It's not that. But they said they deserved like all of, I guess, the money they made off of Autumn. That's what they were talking about. And I thought, but you're not content creators. You're just having conversations. You don't. I know this is a live, but I don't do lots of lives, I definitely ain't getting on TikTok and doing panels. No! If I went live on TikTok, it would just be to talk to y'all. And I don't know. I couldn't do all that. There's no way. But, and then them talking about, content creators, if they get paid, or everybody throwing a fit over content creators getting paid. I would never be okay just getting online begging. Does that make sense? Like, give me gifts, I need gifts, you need to throw me gifts, or blah, 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 blah. But if I'm making videos like I do, and I'm doing the edits and putting videos together and trying to make something you guys enjoy, if I get paid through the ads, like monetized on YouTube, I don't feel like that's wrong. I'm working for that. It's not just something I'm just going to, spend hours every day and take time out of the rest of my day. I love doing it. I want to succeed at it. And it is fun for me to do it. So like something like that, I feel like that it's okay to be monetized and, but you're not ever going to see me get on here and be like, give me gifts. You better send gifts. And you're definitely not going to see me battle like Ryan ever. Hey, Justin. I can't do the panels. Can't do them. I used to love TikTok. TikTok was amazing for me. Amazing. We're going to watch a little bit more of this, but before I click back to it, I love TikTok. It was just silly. It was fun. I didn't, I got a bunch of free stuff, constantly from TikTok shop that I would get sent, and I'd make a video, and it was just silly. It was just an outlet for me because of my trauma. I don't go out and meet people. It was just a way for me to meet people safe, I felt like, But then it got really bad. It got really toxic and everything became negative. I pulled back from TikTok, especially after I got freaking banned from Gypsy videos. John does that. You should add each other. I'll follow you. Are you on, oh my God, what's it called? Hold on. I have it on my phone because I follow him. What's it called, Hollow? Twitch? Is that it? Is it Twitch? I think it is. Do you do Twitch? Yeah, that's true. If you do it, I'll follow you on on there so that you can get, because my son's trying to do the same thing. But then I come here and I love like YouTube. So it's so much more calm. So much more calm. And I love to start like doing the videos. I'm like, oh my God, it's fun doing the videos and doing the edits and trying to make like, I don't know, her look crazy, and I don't know. But it's also a good way for you to put information out and try to still make it light. I don't know. If you're doing the research and you're working and spending time and then doing all that edit, putting it together, and your little community likes it, I don't see why the ads on monetization should bother anybody. I don't. Yes, I will. Put it out? Hold on, let me see. I'll go to your YouTube now. Well, I'll let this play and I'll go do it now. Hello,
I think what's
May.
important for us all to understand too is the context, because from what I understand is you had no one else.
Right.
So literally your world revolved around and your mother and Nick, two people that you are desperately in need of loving you. Do you believe they loved you?
I believe my mother loved me to an extent. I think that she didn't know how to show love.
90.
I think that unfortunately, she didn't get the mental health help that she would have needed to understand how to love a child and raise a child on her own.
Aw, that's so
going through the
nice.
childhood that she had. Nick, I do not believe he loved me one bit.
See, y'all are so awesome. Let me just. Y'all are so awesome to follow her. She's so close. Is your Twitch the same, Hollow May? Because I'll follow you there too.
Someone who was in a
You guys
very
are awesome.
specific situation.
I love you. Are following her.
Vulnerable situation
Go follow her.
to fill out his fantasies. He often had fantasies that were very disturbing.
Could you go and say?
Rape fantasies. And he was looking for someone who was not worldly and experienced. So someone in a very vulnerable state to live out these fantasies with or to.
Okay.
And
No.
like I said, it would be one thing if, I brought a certain element into the relationship that was equally as disturbing. Like if
Is she joking? She just said she didn't bring that into the Ruby, I will batter you. Oh, okay. You guys, did you hear her? She's saying Nick brought all this in, even though we have web browser history that proves that was her looking at all of the BDSM. Don't get me wrong. Nick's web browser history was horrible. Oh my God. That was her. All of the, I hate to even say it, grave. Oh my God, I hate saying it. She talked about it. She made videos about it. She looked up tons of videos about it. He did too. Absolutely. But so did she. She's acting like he just ruined her life. He just came in and boom, She didn't know nothing about it. Nick just, I can't with this chick. I can't.
those were my desires, but it wasn't. And before me,
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. What? Gypsy, out of all the lies you're going to lie about the sex part, that's like the least of what you should be lying about. You a freak. Ryan said you a freak. That's why Ryan likes you. Ken likes you. Nick liked you because you a freak. You brought that to the relationship. On your own show, you said you were the spiciest girl that Ken had been with. How come Dan Glidewell said you introduced it to him then? You absolutely brought that into your relationships, not them. Bitch, I swear to God. Oh my God. Oops, I accidentally hit my phone because I just followed Hollow. I'm done. I'm just done.
His ex-girlfriends did warn me. There was an ex-girlfriend that did warn me that he has very disturbing behavioral patterns, and I brushed it off like she's just a jealous ex-girlfriend.
That's
and I completely
not
ignored it.
Paul, that's not what happened either. What she spoke to his girlfriend about was actually she was jealous of his ex-girlfriend. It had nothing to do with him about his behavior or warning him. No. You guys, this is rough. This is hard.
And then until it was too late. And then also post our relationship, he's went on to have another relationship, prison relationships, and where he continues the same cycles over and over again.
Okay. Going to the crime, what I understand was a catalyst for you also. Was it your throat that was going to be?
It was going to be like biopsy explored, and they were going to have to do more things to my throat, but on my voice box this time.
Okay, so you were, so if you can take me to that, because like that was an important moment for you.
Yes, like it was a moment where I was like, I already had throat surgery already, and it was a rough surgery.
And that's so not throat surgery.
Going through
it was on the throat.
That I'm like, well, this time you're gonna start messing with my voice.
That was
Tires
me.
Plus, get $15 off any oil change. Your engine has hundreds.
Oh God.
And that's terrifying.
Exactly.
I felt like, how much more are you gonna take from me?
And so, June 10th, 2015. If you can take me to that day, or even the preceding day, and walk me through it step by step.
Oh, I'm gonna walk him through it right after.
I knew that was the day. I had been texting with Nick. He said,
"Oh, look, she's getting nervous.
You might want to start saying your goodbyes." And so I just remember my mom and I said, "We're gonna paint our nails. We're gonna watch a movie." And I wanted to make it a good night. Like I wanted to make it a night that I felt like I would remember her for the good.
Sorry, guys, I gotta check my
So
friends in.
she cooked dinner. She ate her dinner. I painted her nails. She painted my nails. Picked out a
my back
movie
patio.
and laid down. She took a little longer to fall asleep, and then I fell asleep. Then I woke up shortly, like 5 minutes after she fell asleep. And I texted him.
That's such a lie.
And I said, the gloves are on the porch.
Nope.
And he's like, okay, I'm taking a cab over.
Oh.
And he didn't knock on the door. He texted me. He's like, I'm here. So I get up out of bed and I walk over, open the door. First thing he said when he comes to the door is, this bitch is dead.
That's not what happened.
And I told him, be quiet. And he's like, where's the knife? So I hand him the knife and he said, get your bleeping ass to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, I close the door, I lock the door behind me, and I just kind of get into the fetal position and I cover my ears.
Liar.
And that's what happened.
Nope, not true.
If
Not true.
At any point,
We know now Nick actually did tell the truth. She was not in the bathroom. She was in the room. So that's a lie. She skipped over a whole bunch. It's a lie. We all know this though. I just hope that with the proof, also, Paul, just about that throat surgery that she already had. Yeah, she had the salivary glands removed, but that throat surgery, I'm not going to say Paul's actually going to see this live in this video. I tagged him in it, and I hope he does see it. I tagged, we need to talk. If he doesn't see mine, I hope he sees somebody else's, because it is important. She said the whole reason she took her mother out was because that was the last straw. Her mother, she felt like, was trying to take her life with that throat surgery that was going to do exploratory throat surgery on her voice box. She had full medical control of her appointments, diagnosis, like anything that happened, she had control. Dee Dee didn't. There was no power of attorney. There was no conservatorship. There was nothing, unless she was incapacitated, couldn't wake up. She canceled that appointment. We have put that out. Any content creator who has spoke on this case has put that document out. I'm shocked she's still saying it. I'm shocked that she is still standing on that hill. I promise you I am. I am floored that she is still willing to put that out there knowing it can be debunked just like that. Because she doesn't care. She really doesn't care. That's crazy to me. Yeah, there was no surgery. There was never a referral. She had an ENT appointment. That ENT appointment that she went to, she said, where her and Dee Dee got into an argument at the hospital parking lot, and Dee Dee stopped the car and told her she was having the surgery. That's all a lie. That's not true. None of that happened. I do agree, Athena, but come on. I don't know. Hi, Koi King. I'm shocked she still is willing to say that lie, even though we can disprove it. I think she did kind of shock me with that. I thought she'd like gleam over that part and not say anything.
But you don't want to discuss this. We can move on. A few questions though that I have is, so going into that day, it sounds like over the last maybe you've known Nick now for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yep.
You have discussed murder previously with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's had fantasies of raping, murdering.
Mm-hmm.
How did you know? Why did you believe that it was actually going to happen on this day?
I honestly didn't think that he was going to go through with it until it actually happened. And then after it happened, there was a point where I didn't process what happened.
Here's the excuse of the Brownie video, guys. She didn't process what happened. She didn't think he was going to fully go through with it. What was it you said in the text messages, Gypsy? Bring your A game, baby. This is my life on the line we're talking about. Ain't that what you said? So you didn't think he was going to come in and do it? Why did you ask him not to wear gloves? Oh, why did you ask him, hey, babe, do you need duct tape? I'll go ahead and pre-cut it for you. Didn't think he was going to go through with it, though. The funny part is, I don't even think he thought on his way there that he was actually going there to go through it. I think he thought he was going to get Gypsy because she sent him a text saying she made peace with her mother finally. And he said, good, dear, I knew you could. I think he thought she was kicked out and he was just going to go get her. But then they started talking. And then when he realized, oh, crap, he is on his way there to do it, take care of it, she's ignoring him. And he starts flipping out. Because I feel like she already had, I do. I feel like she already had started on Dee Dee before Nick got there. I think that's why Dee Dee didn't fight back. That's just my opinion, though. I think that's why there's no, anyway, we won't get into all that, but I do think, I don't think Nick really understood everything. You did. Look at, oh my God.
He was walking around the house and talking at a normal voice tone. And I was like, shh,
Yeah.
Like there was a level of distance from the situation where like she was dead in the other room and I'm still thinking, I'm afraid she's going to wake up, see you in the house and, punish me in some type of way.
Did you go to see your mother?
No, I did not go in that room.
You're a liar.
Nick actually, anytime, because her room is like right here, my room was right here, and then there's a hall. And so he would block her room. So anytime I was walking in and out of my room, he would block the area so I couldn't see.
Okay. Now, I know that you're aware of how severe the murder was.
Yeah.
And I understand he used the knife that you provided him, and that the stabbing was so severe that it almost severed her head. Did he talk about the murder at all?
No.
There was no discussion.
No discussion of it. Not after the fact. No.
Okay. Did you, when in the
Funny.
bathroom? Because I would imagine there was a tussle. There was a fight that ensued.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear anything?
Yes.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
What can you say? What did you hear?
I heard screaming, and it was like horrible sound. It was a horrible sound. It was screaming. It was shock. I almost think I heard, "Who are you?" was asked.
Yes.
And I am right because
I am
according
right,
to some
guys.
transcripts of Nick's testimony and other inmates that had talked to him, she had asked, "Who are you?" And he responded, "I am deaf."
That's not what happened.
It
That's a
got
lie,
stuck in the
too.
branch that it was growing up.
So I do know that that was probably what I heard. And I remember her calling out for my name, and like I wanted to go and help her. Like I felt like I wanted to go and help her, but I was terrified at the same time.
She is so emotionless. She's no remorse whatsoever. That's not what happened. She was in there. Nick said she wasn't in the bathroom. She never went into the bathroom. Nick finally admitted that. That's a lie. And Nick said Dee Dee didn't fight back, and she barely even made any noise. So Nick, whatever.
Like my body was paralyzed. I couldn't move. And I just kept remember, breathe. Remember to just breathe. And I kept telling myself in that mind, just breathe. And I was so focused on like trying to breathe and block it out. And I just remember one sharp scream and then nothing after that. And then I realized it was over. And then he came to the bathroom door and knocked for me to open up the door.
What did he say to you?
He didn't, I don't think, say anything. He had cut his finger. And so he wanted me to bandage him up. And he wanted me to be completely naked when I opened up the door. And so I was completely naked. And he wanted me to hug him. So there was this sort of embrace where I was in a state of shock. That I couldn't believe what happened.
Okay, Gypsy. You can't even apologize now
he-
for it. She's
now
trying
better
to force
understand
herself
knowing
to cry. Did
his
you see that?
Desires and BDSM and what he
Did
had said
you
to you
see
previously.
that?
Now I understand why he said, when I come to the door,
Mhm.
you should be naked.
Mhm.
I understand that he then assaulted you.
Yes. That specifically
Paul,
was
shame on
really
you.
difficult because prior to
Shame
having
on you.
the crime happen, he wanted to assault my mom. That was his fantasy. He wanted to assault my mom.
And he
I felt like
did.
that was too
That's
far.
not a lie.
I was like, no,
But he
I will
couldn't.
not, do it to me instead. And he said, fine. That's the price you have to pay then. If you don't want me to do that to your mom, you're gonna have to let me do it to you.
Because he's all
And I
talk.
agreed. So come to that point, keep in mind, I was a virgin.
What the fudge? She's just admitted to meeting men before him, and she's a virgin? You literally. Cannot with this chick. I'm sorry. I can't. She's serious as a heart. Chick, you've been around more. Oh my god. Oh my god, she's been with half the town. Keep in mind I'm a virgin. I cannot with this chick.
To that point, I guess I agreed with something I didn't fully understand. And that's all I'll say about that. And what's even
That's
more
all I'm
horrible
gonna
is-
say about. She's like, that's all I'm gonna say about that. I just didn't fully understand. I was a virgin. I cannot.
I had to testify in court.
Oh my
And I
god.
had to I'm gonna be open and honest and say that I had to basically say he didn't rape me. Because
God.
he got me to agree to it. So is it
Sorry, I'm
even though I
talking to my
said stop,
grandson.
I said, no, stop, you're hurting me. But because I previously agreed to it, now I'm confused. What is consensual?
I thought
I
consent
know
is
you're joking.
given and removed in a moment's notice.
I thought so too, but apparently not in the court's eyes.
How is he hurting you when he couldn't get it up? How's he hurting you? She's confused. She doesn't understand consent now. Nick said she went to completion 3 times. She went to full completion 3 times in his interrogation. I don't know how she did it unless it was like self. This is why I have such an issue with this demon. Demon. She is a demon. Look at those eyes. She feels proud. Yes, she did tell him not to stop. You're absolutely right. Oh my God. So every person who is a victim of that, this little gremlin goblin demon right here, just.
So because you had what verbally or in a text said that you were open to having sex, that gave him open consent.
Yep. And in the eyes of the court, they feel the same way too.
Because it's the truth, Gypsy. You're not telling
And
him
he said,
everything.
Did he? And they have evidence that I agreed to it. So I said no, knowing full and well he did.
You were, oh my
This is
God.
important. This is in,
Did you see her
what state is this?
face?
This is-
Missouri.
It's in Missouri.
Oh
Okay.
my
Okay.
God.
Yeah, that's a horrendous law there. And so after the assault, how do you feel in that moment? If you could go back.
It was also, you have to understand that there was this assault, and yes, there was the crime. But Nick had also claimed that he has multiple personalities. So during this whole time, he's switching back and forth between personalities.
Wait a second. Nick literally pretended to be a vampire, but what did you tell your mother? That you had multiple personalities? It's on her video through the FOIA's, Paul, where Dee Dee didn't believe in that, though. Remember? I told my mom about me having multiple personalities but she don't believe in that stuff. Remember, Gypsy? That was you.
Interesting.
I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Split.
Yes, I
It
have.
was like that, where you can just change just like that. So the person that murdered my mother, his name is Victor, not Nick. Okay,
This
person who assaulted
scary
me.
voice.
Victor, not Nick.
Look
So,
at her
in my
crazy
mind-
eyes when she lies. She has crazy eyes when she lies.
I'm not looking at the person that just assaulted me, and Nick is being the same person. I'm thinking, okay, one means to hurt me, but also save me, and the other one is just the Nick that I had been talking to for 2+ years. So I was compartmentalizing at the time.
And did you at the time believe that he was multiple people in essence?
Yes.
Okay, you did.
I
Okay.
fully believed it. Like I said, I grew up with a mom that heard voices, saw things, so I was pretty gullible to just believe about anything.
Okay. Now I see. So
She leaves out that she tells Nick she's a witch, right? And that she makes up like 10 different personalities. She don't mention that to him. Nick had 2, right? Nick believed he was a vampire. Victor. That's it. That was it. She lies later and tries to say he has more than that Victor personality, but she's lying. There was no more. They were all her. Oh my God. No, it never has, Veronica, not once. There has never been anything ever. This is the first time she got that from a movie. I'm telling you, I heard it in a movie. I've seen that. You know what? Let me Google it while I play this. I'm going to see what movie, because I know it's from a movie.
then what do you two do at this point?
So we go back because he was staying at a hotel nearby. So we go back to the hotel, and I also had been self-medicating. I had developed a addiction to opiates. So I was taking 3 Xanaxes and Vicodins all together, and I was very, very high after the fact. Ordering pizza, giggling, laughing, not a care in the world.
Okay. And this is in the house?
No.
In the hotel?
In the hotel.
In the hotel.
Mhm.
Okay.
The next day.
And so you both left your mother's body in the house.
Yep.
Was there thoughts on we're going to cover this up, or the thought was there was no thought? It was
There was no thought.
it was just
It was just live, and every step was not planned.
Donnie
It was
Darko.
Literally after it
I
happened,
knew it.
it was run to different states.
They
Forget about it. It didn't exist.
okay.
Okay. Hey, Anonymous. Who remembers them talking about Donnie Darko in their either on Facebook or on Snapchat, or I swear they talked about that movie. Donnie Darko. That is a quote from Donnie Darko. I heard 7 voices and 6 don't like me. That's what she said to Dee Dee. Oh, your tooth came out?
Yeah, bleeding.
Okay. Let this play. He's got 3 loose teeth. Tooth fairy's gonna be coming. Let me go get him.
So you went to the hotel, ordered pizza. You're just
Chilling.
watching shows,
Mhm.
having a good time.
Mhm.
And so then 24 hours at a certain point you post, or so one of the two of you posted. You post. Okay, and what do you post?
So we were already back in Wisconsin at this time. That's where he lived.
Okay.
And I logged into my mom's Facebook account because I did not like the idea of her just being there. I felt very unsettled, very uncomfortable with it. Like that level of remorse and just like, I want her found. She deserves a proper burial. So I want her found. So I logged into her Facebook account and I think back to what he said when he came in the house. The bitch is dead. So that's what I put. My mom hardly ever cussed, especially around people. So that's what I put.
That is a lie. Just listen to the interrogation. She is putting this on him now. Are we? How many times has she said she wanted to sound like what the killer would sound like? That was so now we have a new lie. How coinky dinky.
It to seem all warming. So the authorities could go.
That's
and find her,
crazy.
and then she could give it a burial.
What about, did you discuss that with Nick to post? Was that, or that was just you?
I'm pretty sure that was just me.
Okay. Did it draw the authorities?
It did.
Yeah,
Ultimately,
she
the day
did,
that I went
Silky.
to have her found happened.
Okay. So she's found by police.
Mhm.
Sorry, my
But then what
cat
happens
wants
to you
in
next?
here.
They think that I was kidnapped. I was missing. So to the authorities, I was missing. Now also you have to understand that my brain was not functioning in a logical way because I went around the house before we left the scene, taking down all the pictures of me, thinking that I would not exist if there would just be no pictures of me around the house.
Okay.
Didn't make sense at all. So days go by, they think I'm missing. Then all of a sudden they track the IP address to his house
From the post
from the post.
that you made. Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. Right. Because whoever posted that was aware of what happened.
Exactly.
Okay.
I was not aware of technology that smart. Well,
Yeah, she wasn't
so
aware
they
of
tracked the IP
technology,
address, and
guys.
then the next
Didn't know nothing about technology, and you know, she was not smart. She just had 2 burner phones, had 2 laptops, was making corn videos and sending them through Dropbox, doing edits, and knew how to intercept messages for Dee Dee, Nick. But she wasn't computer savvy, you know. She just learned how to look up and plan the entire murder online, too. Got all the ingredients for the recipe of murder. All the ingredients. Handcuffs. Taser. Oh, forgot the taser. But, you know, she knew nothing of technology. Nothing. What a joke.
morning we wake up to the sound of a barking dog, which was actually the canine unit, and 2 police squads surrounding the house in armored vehicles.
Do you see I put a thumbs
I told
down
him,
on
I was
there?
like,
I shouldn't because
what
it
do I
still
say?
helps them.
What do I say? What do I do? And he said, you're gonna tell the police that your mom kicked you out, that you were kicked out, and your mom got mad at you, so you left, and I came to pick you up, and you don't know what happened. Okay, so I went down first. I surrendered first. Put me in a cop car. Then they asked me once they had me in cuffs, does he have any weapons?
Me
Does he
too,
have any
Heather.
bombs or anything? And I'm like, no. So they got him to come down. And they take him into custody in a separate car, and they bring us to the police station in separate cars.
Okay. And then as you're headed to the police station, what are you thinking? Is it that you fooled them because you took the photos down and
I was honestly terrified for Nick.
She's such a liar.
The friends you love.
I'm terrified for Nick. Oh my God. Wow, she's really unlocking some new lies here, guys. Dang.
Because at that point I didn't see how I can get in any trouble. I'm like, I just had enough.
She literally is going to be honest about this. I told you guys, she thought she was going to walk away and not get in trouble. She thought she fooled them. I told you. Sir, I need a lawyer, sir. Tripping over the blanket. She really thought she was going to get away because that's what she's used to. Talking like a baby, bringing up her illnesses, pretending to be super sick and slow, lying about her age, which she did. She thought she was going to get away with it and not be held accountable like she has been her entire life. She's being honest about that.
Conversation with him, So in my mind, I was definitely downplaying my part.
Awesome.
Okay. So you thought you get to the
I
station.
do
he
love
would then-
seeing that,
He would be in
Lulu.
trouble, and I told him, I was like, I had stole
I saw
money out
your
of my mom's
comment,
safe.
Lulu.
It was like $5,000, and with that money, I was like, I'm gonna get you the best lawyer possible. We're talking like O.J. Simpson, amazing lawyer, because I had no concept of money, and how much things cost. So,
She had no concept of money and how much things cost, but knew to ask Dee Dee if she would help support them financially. And even went through the entire, we can't just live on, you don't make much money, his disability, and her couch change. They would need help. She looked up tiny houses. She had every concept of money. She's not dumb. She bought her own engagement ring. She budgeted everything for that crime. Whatever.
I'm still fully in love with Nick at this point.
Yes.
I don't want him to be in trouble.
I don't know.
Out of there.
Hey, I'm not saying
And
much
I'm
because
not
I have
telling the school
on
how I'm in trouble too.
When do you then realize you're in trouble too?
a tank top and
Upon
put
being
on
charged
some
with first degree murder.
like sports shorts under it.
What goes through your mind when you hear that?
Terrified.
Because that holds with it. Is it life or is that
Life without parole.
life without parole? Okay. So then you're immediately incarcerated.
Mhm.
Okay. And for what I understand is, and then you remain incarcerated
Mhm.
until just a few years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Walk me through the case, because you made it clear to tell me right there, I was still in love with Nick.
Mhm.
At what point do you fall out of love with Nick? Is it during the case?
It was. I think, I look back on this too, and I feel like it was, Nick had been the only one other than my mom that I was talking to for, 2+ years. So it was like the moment that I had any significant amount of time away from him, that's when I started to be able to think on my own and think about, is this relationship healthy? What is it that I love about him? Am I romanticizing the crime that we just committed as an act of...
Did you guys hear her? She said, am I romanticizing the crime we just committed? Yes, you are. You still do. I'm telling you. Oh my God. I know she's questioning, like making it as a question, like speculating it, but that's exactly what she's doing. And she's always done that. That's crazy.
of saving me, or is there something more sinister that I didn't see before?
Okay. And then during that time, you're going through the court procedure.
Mhm.
You're now off the opioids.
Mhm. Mhm.
I know that you've reflected upon that murder
Mhm.
multiple times.
No, she didn't.
What's then your feeling towards your mother and what happened?
I was so upset with family and with the media because we're only allowed one legacy in this life. When someone passes away, all they have left is their name. And I was feeling regret and remorse about allowing the media to paint her as a villain, when I'm like, the thing is what if she's not a villain, but rather just a very sick woman?
You, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, allowed the media to paint that narrative of your mother. You, Gypsy, to this day, drag your mother through the mud as if she is a monster. You said she deserved what she got, while you have Sheena and Bree sitting right there beside you, clapping, saying, that's her karma. You did this to your mother. You keep lying about your mother. The media didn't portray her as a villain. You did that all on your own. Now she's going to come around and say, well, they were right. She knows she's wrong. You can't convince me of that. You can't convince me that she doesn't have somewhere in the back of her mind. You know what? The media, I did push that narrative of my mom out there when her mother was good to her. She knows her mother was good to her. She knows her mother loved her. You know what's going to happen? I swear. I think that yes, no. I think that her motherhood is going to be a horrible experience. I do. I think that what you put out, you get back tenfold with your children, what you did to your parents. And I think her karma is coming in that way. I think no matter what kind of relationship she wants to build with that child, it's not going to be what she wants. She's always going to be jealous. And I just feel like that's her karma. I hope that's her karma. I hope once that child is old enough to read, and it will, I'm saying it because I don't want to get into the whole baby thing, but she's going to research it. She's going to look it up and read and find everything out on her own. And I promise you, there's no way this child will, I don't know, man. The entire family believes her, so maybe she will. But I do believe that at some point that child will turn on her and have nothing to do with her. I know. Pixie Brittany. Yeah, I don't know, Brittany. I don't know.
Okay.
So I started to feel a lot of guilt about that. And then
I hope
upon
so,
getting
Slayer.
to prison
I
is
hope
when I
so.
started to feel the pain and the loss of, okay, I'm never going to see her again. I'm never going to be able to have this closure moment to ask her, well, why this, why that? Would she forgive me? There's no closure on either side.
Now, there were court proceedings for you,
Mhm.
but there's a trial,
There's a trial for him.
Nick. Why is that the case?
Because I was offered a plea deal. So the prosecutor felt like there was enough mitigating evidence to offer me a plea deal to 10 years in the Department of Corrections. Take it or leave it. So I took it.
Okay. Now, I know that there was, and this is right around the time when you hit my level of awareness, my radar, because this case, or should I say, this moment was all over the news.
Mm-hmm.
It was everywhere. It was headline news. Mm-hmm. And I recall there being two schools of thought around that plea deal for you. Or should I say 3 schools of thought. One was, okay, that sounds about right. Another was, no way. She deserves life sentence or worse, or a life in prison or worse. And another is, no, she should get off completely. When you reflect on a 10-year plea deal for your participation in murdering your mother, do you believe that was the correct sentence?
Listen to this.
You don't?
I feel like if I would have spent the rest of my life in prison, that would have been fair for the crime that was committed.
Oh my goodness. So then you feel as if Nick was given the right sentence?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody's like, oh, she said something true. That, for the crime that was committed, they spend the rest of their life in prison. But just for Nick. Everybody's thinking she meant that for her. Look at her sucking in her bottom lip. I'll never understand that. That's not what she meant. She's just twisting it. He asked her if she felt what she got was fair. And she said no. So it makes it look like she's saying, I'll let you hear it again. She's just,
One was, okay, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Another was, no way. She deserves life in sentence or worse, or a life in prison or worse.
Mm-hmm.
And another is, no, she should get off completely.
Mm-hmm.
When you reflect on a 10-year plea deal for your participation in murdering your mother, do you believe that was the correct sentence?
No.
You don't?
I feel like if I would have spent the rest of my life in prison, that would have been fair for the crime that was committed.
Oh my goodness. So then you feel as if Nick was given the right sentence?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't feel like I don't feel like he should be free. But I do feel like he does need a lot of mental health therapy that needs to be done with
The
him. And
audacity
prison
of
does
this
not
girl.
rehabilitate you to the best of their ability in the mental health space. They just don't. But yeah, if that would have been the outcome, that would have been fair for the crime that was committed. Now, do I also understand where the prosecution was coming from by offering me mercy? I do.
Bull
So
crap.
I'm appreciative for the second chance that I've been given, but I understand where people are coming from with feeling like the sentence didn't match the crime.
It's so funny because you told Dr. Phil you didn't deserve 10 years. This is just, she doesn't mean it. I don't care. She does not mean this. She came straight out of prison and said, I don't identify as a murderer. It is not fair. She got sentenced to 10 years. She spent her entire time in prison trying to get released, early release. That's what she did. This is crazy. Crazy. That's what I'm saying. And she's talking about him needing mental health, lots of mental therapy. What do you need, Gypsy? You just cut up and killed a blanket. You just went to town and had a full-on meltdown, cut up, sliced and diced a blanket that was a symbol of your relationship with Ken and said, this is what I think about you. You don't need any therapy, though. Gosh.
Well, that's profound for you to say that. Very profound. Were you aware
That's
of the media
profound, guys.
attention that the story got around the world, but namely in the United States?
Not to the degree that it was. You hear little bits from other inmates and what their families tell them,
She's such a
but
lot.
there is not a lot, especially in jail.
Sorry, guys.
You're not even allowed to read your own articles. If they make a story and you're in it, they take it out, they rip it out.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So all of the papers had like these little cutouts and holes and everything because obviously it was such a big case, but I couldn't read any of it and I couldn't watch any of it. Anytime it would come on the news, the guards would turn off the TV. So I was so kept from it.
That's interesting. So you only knew through other inmates, through the family and friends of the other inmates.
So we would talk to, yeah.
They would talk to you and then they would tell you.
Yeah.
And what were you hearing? What were they telling you?
I mean, a range of different things like, man, your case is really big. Like everybody's talking about it. But other than that, that's it. And then I went to prison. And then obviously when the act came out, who was the act, that kind of blew up like that.
Watch the FIFA World Cup 2026.
No, we're not. Now she's going to speak on the act, guys.
To now being a TV character.
Okay.
Mhm.
Did you, while in prison, did you see the act?
I did not. No, I heard about it because I was getting lots of fan mail and talking about it. And they would ask me questions and I didn't know what they were referring to because they had a lot of tweaks and changes that never happened in my real life. So the things that they were referencing happened in the show.
Okay.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Okay. Now, hold on, Gypsy. You said you received a lot of fan mail.
Mm-hmm.
What was the first fan mail that you received, and how did you feel knowing that you received fan mail?
So before the act came out, a documentary, the first documentary was HBO's Mommy Dead and Dearest, directed by Erin Lee Carr. And after that documentary, I was receiving a lot of mail, and it was supportive mail. I really don't like saying fan mail, but it was a lot of supportive mail from people all around the world that watched this documentary. And my story resonated with them for some reason. And
I'm curious, in that, Gypsy, what were they writing to you? What were they saying?
telling me about their lives. A lot of them were very open to opening up about their own traumas.
Okay.
They felt like they could relate in some way or another. And it was where I didn't feel so alone. Like I started to realize that there was a lot more people out there that goes through some really hard stuff in their life.
Okay.
You know what? I didn't see none of that. I saw you talking to a bunch of men who said they had traumas and sent you money while you talked to them sexually. That's the majority of what I saw. And what other kind of, I mean, I don't know, mail that you got. Yeah, that's what I see. You just having your pay pigs and whoever you could get to believe your story and talk to you provocatively. Every single person who wrote you had to know what they looked like, how tall they were, what color their hair was, if they were dating. Exactly. That's what I said. She's the virgin. And I promise you, in her next relationship, whoever it is, because her and Ken are not going to last, she's going to tell that man, well, I'm basically a virgin. I mean, I've had a kid, but it's like Mary, Jesus and Mary. It's a miracle because I barely had sex, guys. That's exactly how she's going to be. I'm telling you.
And I was able to form friendships with these pen pals over time.
It's interesting. It's interesting. So prison, though, is much different than your previous, living situation.
Very much.
How did you adjust to prison, to living there?
I adjusted quite well, I feel. It was more freedom than I had ever had in my life. And it's crazy when people hear that from me, but it's the truth. In prison, I was able to, find myself in a controlled environment, but I was able to make friends. Making friends is not easy, especially as an adult, but I was able to make choices for myself, discover who I am, discover what kind of music I like, run around, go to the gym, go to school.
Okay. I'm done. I'm done with this nonsense. I'm done. I'm not listening to her enjoy her great life she's had ever since killing her mother. I'm done. I'm not doing it. I hope this man, I don't think he'll remove the video. I really don't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to listen to how she enjoys music and how great her life has been. And I'm sure she'll go into us trolls here. I haven't watched this far into it, but I can't do no more today. She is a P3DO. Allegedly, for entertainment and educational purposes only. It did me too, Pixie. It did me too. But I am making a video on the Rogie. I guess there were some things about Rogie dropped about his arrest record, and I don't know. It's crazy. There's always an arrest record, and it's always kind of serious. But the fact that he has daughters, is around daughters, and blah, 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 blah. Somebody came in my comments on my last video and was defending Rogie. I don't know who it was. Hey, if Rogie and his wife had that kind of arrangement, more power to them. God bless them. If they can handle it, God bless them. It's none of my business. I just know he's out there on them TikTok streets, and he's got his eggplant plastered in every DM. If you speak to him, you're going to get an eggplant pic. That's all I'm saying. Yes, she did arrest her. He said it. Yeah, I know. I saw that too. I was going to put that in there, Bobby, in my video. I'm working on it. I'm not done with it. I seen that there was a ton of angry people on the pro and anti side, which that really just bugs me. Like, I'm not an anti-gypsy person. I'm just telling the truth. I want the truth put out, but I guess it is anti-gypsy. That they're really angry with Autumn. There was some lies, and she promised to release that video last night. These people stayed up night before last. If you're dumb enough to wait 4 hours, I guess. I don't know. But she told them she was going to release the video, and then she ghosted him, kept saying, I got to feed my kids. I got to put my kids to bed. And then she just quit talking to him. And they still waited. She was not going to put that video out. Yeah. So I am working on that stuff. I don't know. There's not. I'm going to add some more of this. Maybe the end of this in there too. You guys, did I tell you guys ever that I was invited to do a reality dating show back in, I would say 2022 or 2023? 2023. Did I ever tell you guys about this? It is. The blanket video is more than enough. I just want you guys to guess what show that I talked to producers of, and when I found out what it was, I completely ghosted them and never responded again. They didn't tell me what the name of it was. Just in all fairness, do not come at me because they didn't tell me the name. They just said they had a show that they were going to have where women, no, it wasn't 90 Day, not the Duggars 90 Day Fiance, no. MILF Manor. It was about moms. MILF Manor. Honey Boo Boo. I love you guys. I know I'm not young enough for Love Island, but it was on an island, all expenses paid. It was like you got paid $2,600 per episode, something like that. And I'm like, dang, I could do that. Go there for 3 months and 2 months do a vacation, get paid for it. Heck yeah. And then I didn't even know the name of the show. They never told me the name of the show. They said they were still working out the actual, what they were going to call it. But I had to agree to a date then that would be younger than me. I was like, oh, what? No. No. No, I ain't doing it. No way. Yes. Exactly. Mom's hooking up with young boys. Hell no. No. That is, even if, say, a younger person like my son's ages I would never go out with them because that's just gross. It would be like looking at my own child, y'all. No. Yeah. Yes, they did have the boys compete with the dads in season 2. When I seen the show drop, I was like, I am so glad that I ghosted. I have the emails. I put one of the emails up on my TikTok. I still have it. But isn't that funny? It is like dating. I mean, that's just me. I've never really dated anybody younger than me. I've always dated older than me. Yes. And your son, they even had you on one season, like it was the mom and son. I would have had to have watched my child if I would have did it. My son date older women, which I could care less about, but I don't want to be in the same room while he's kissing an old woman. No, because we are older than them. Yes, it was so. I'm shocked that it aired. It was very provocative. But hey, wouldn't that have been awesome to have made the money for it? That would have been awesome. And I can't do 90 Day Fiance because I don't want to travel overseas. No. Me either, Lola. I couldn't do it, Arista. It was crazy. All right. I've been on here for almost 3 hours. I'm gonna hop off here. I feel bad because it was gonna be. I know. I'm just saying, Nikki, how easy it is to get a show. Like she acts like she's so not how easy, but she acts like she's. Look at her face. Look what we paused on. I don't care. Yes. I love you guys. I feel bad being in here this long though with my grandson here. I'm trying to make enough room for everybody, and I still have to. That's the worst part. He hates doing deliveries with me, so I'm not able to do that. Hey, Nutmeg. I just got here and the interview isn't done. Maybe I'll come back. I gotta make him something to eat. He ate earlier, but he just ate a cheese quesadilla, so I'm gonna have to make him something else. Maybe I'll come back later tonight and finish it. I love 90 Day Fiance though. Well, see, that's not too bad, Darlene. I don't don't know why she didn't change. Is it the same outfit? Because it does look like it. I don't know. Oh, it is when she's in the bathroom and everybody's telling her. Oh my God. She had on the worst outfit. And That Rocks the Cradle. That's an awesome movie. I love it. Such a great movie. I don't feel stressed. Yeah, she doesn't drink a lot of water due to her surgeries. That's just a lie. She uses that as an excuse. But if you look at her, like when the light hits her lips, especially like maybe not right here because the camera's directly not in front of her face, but if she's getting ready and she's doing her get ready with me, or like if the camera was straight ahead on her, you would see it looks like she has gloss on. She's constantly drooling onto her lips. Even if she's not licking her lips, that drool is there. And before she puts like on lip gloss or her lipstick, she's like doing that because she's getting a spit off. Oh, it's all about the mangles. It's all about the mangles. Oh, sorry, I'm hopping off. I've been on here for 3 hours almost. I gotta go feed my grandchild. I actually have to feed a child. Gypsy. I don't want to think about it. I know. Oh my gosh. But I might come back on later when he falls asleep and finish, because I still have, how much do we have left?
Got my GED while I was in prison.
So,
Where's the time?
I want to say this delicately, but I'll just say this is that
45 minutes left.
So initially, did you enjoy your time?
I won't say that it's enjoy. I will say it's live in a new way.
Okay, so you enjoyed living.
It was enjoyment in a new way. Because there was enjoyment, but at the same time, the sacrifice is the time that I missed from my family that wanted a relationship.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can't listen to this nonsense because she said she loved it. It was freedom. She did love it. She was sleeping with girls in prison. She was hopping from bunk to bunk. So, anything to get her sex fix. I really, really hope. Yeah, we could do a late night stream. Finish the end of it. I do really hope that he responds to, just look at this, guys. I want you to look at the comments. Oh, I went too far. So there's over 4,000 now, but these are mine. I left like 5. There's no good comments, none. I can't understand how he's okay diagnosing Dee Dee with Munchausen when he's like this therapist journalist. That blows my mind. It does. And they're all bad. All of them are bad. All right, you guys, I'm hungry too. I'm going to hop off, and if I have time, I'll hop back on. But so far, how many lives did we capture in? A ton. I appreciate you guys being here and listening to the lies. I just hope, I don't know. The fact he dropped this on Dee Dee's death anniversary, I think I'm more angry about that he could have had way more respect than to do that. That's all. And he didn't. Shocker. Right? We do. Bye, you guys. I love you. The comment section is awesome. All right, I'm going to hop off here. Love you guys. See you in the next video. Goodbye. If I can figure out how to end it.